urban cultivation, starting my immortal path from key refining level 1. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story and all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 151. Need a drink of water. Everyone at the scene was stunned. They hadn't expected Su Yang to act so ruthlessly and decisively. How dare he? Doesn't he know the consequences of offending us reporters? A playboy is a playboy. He doesn't use his brain, haha. Many rich second generations who are much more powerful than him have fallen to his reporters. He's nothing. He's so arrogant, haha. The big hot topic, isn't it coming? Without exception, every reporter at the scene was condemning Su Yang, their cameras pointed at him, snapping away. I've got 1 minute to get out of my sight, or else. At this point, Su Yang pointed at the unconscious reporter on the ground and said coldly, here's a lesson for you, haha. Young Master Su, who are you trying to scare? Do you think we're afraid of you? That's right. A true journalist will never submit to the tyranny of the rich and powerful, and will never bow to evil. Brothers, keep your cameras pointed at young Master Su's face so everyone can see his true face. As an excellent journalist, I'm always ready to dedicate myself to the cause I aspire to. Even if I die today, I will fire the first shot against the rich and powerful. The group of reporters spoke passionately and righteously, each one looking like a man of great ambition. But under Su Yang's threat, their bodies, in unison, retreated, creating a sharp contrast and making the scene particularly comical. A bunch of idiots, Su Yang complained disdainfully, then put his arm around Li Fixun's waist and whispered, wife, let's go. Yeah, Li Fixun nodded obediently. For the first time, she felt that being a dandy felt so good. She didn't have to care about the opinions of outsiders and could do whatever she wanted. In fact, she had been unhappy for a long time. If it weren't for her image, she would have wanted to beat up these reporters. These people were like flies, buzzing and annoying. Next, Su Yang drove the red Ferrari and took Li Fixun away from Feng Mao building. After the two left, the reporters at the scene started clamoring again, and at the same time felt regretful. Haha, money really does mean anything. Li Fixun just became famous and she's been kept by young Master Su. Don't talk nonsense. I've already told you Li Fixun is young Master Su's fiancé. They've known each other for a long time. Bah, what fiancé? It's just that they're afraid of the Su family's influence. Otherwise, why would someone as talented as Li Fixun settle for a loser like young Master Su? This young Master Su dared to hide a reporter. This matter isn't over yet. He'll soon face legal consequences. Su Yang ignored the reporters and went to Heidilao with Li Fixun for hot pot. They ordered dozens of dishes. Of course, he ordered 2 servings of shrimp paste. His wife's needs had to be met. Honey, your answer just now was so cute. You slept until you were exhausted before getting up. You're really a bitch. Su Yang sat across from Li Fixun, looking at her and laughing. What do you mean by slept? Li Fixun asked, puzzled, picking up a shrimp paste and chewing it. The shrimp paste was quite hot, making her expression very amusing. Su Yang chuckled softly. Grandma got into bed and made me laugh. PFFT, Li Fixun nearly burst out laughing. After swallowing the shrimp paste, she grumbled, Su Yang, what kind of idiom is that? It's all messed up and awful. That's awful enough, but I have even worse ones. Do you want to hear them? Su Yang said with a playful smile. No, don't bother me while I'm eating hot pot. Li Fixun decisively refused. After picking up the yellow throat and eating it, she couldn't help but be curious. What idiom could be worse? The more Li Fixun thought about it, the more curious she became. Finally, she said, Su Yang, what other idioms do you know? Tell me. Forget it. I'm afraid you won't be able to eat, Su Yang said, shaking his head. It's okay. I have a good appetite and can eat. Li Fixun's curiosity was piqued. Okay then. Su Yang smiled and said, but saying a Chinese idiom without any meaning is pointless. You have to do something to connect it to the Chinese idiom. How about this? Act like a spoiled child for me and let me see how you act like a spoiled child. Okay, Su Yang, don't do it. Li Fixun looked at Su Yang shyly. Flirting with him? and said in a coquettish voice, "I want to hear a Chinese idiom. Can you tell me?" "Okay, you're really just wiping your ass with gauze," Su Yang said with a smile. "Wiping your ass with gauze? What does that mean?" Li Fixun's face was full of confusion. "You missed a trick," Su Yang said with a smile. "You missed a trick," Li Fixun repeated, stunned. "Su Yang, are you asking for a beating?" "I'm eating. Why are you saying this?" "It's disgusting, you told me to say it," Su Yang said innocently. "Excuse me. I told you to die, would you?" Li Fixun gritted her teeth. "I will." Unexpectedly, Su Yang grabbed Li Fixun's delicate white hand and said affectionately, "I will." For a moment, Li Fixun was stunned. She had only said it casually, but she hadn't expected Su Yang to react like this. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Wife, from now on, you are the most important person in my life. No matter what happens, I will be with you, cherish you, love you, protect you, and make you the happiest woman in the world." Su Yang held Li Fixun's hand and promised affectionately, "If the sky collapses and the earth sinks, I will create a new world for you, a paradise on earth filled with birdsong and fragrant flowers, so that you can be happy and blessed forever." "Su Yang." Li Fixun met Su Yang's gaze, tears welling up in her eyes. Her eyes reddened, and she choked with sobs as she said, "Is all this true? If I told you to die, would you really go?" "Yes," Su Yang nodded decisively. But as soon as he finished speaking, Li Fixun didn't look moved at all. She pulled her hand away, a sly smile flashing in her eyes, a hint of smugness in her eyes. As she ate her hot pot, she said indifferently, "Then go to hell." Ugh. Su Yang paused, feeling slightly embarrassed. He hadn't expected his wife to be so playful. "However, for teasing me, the super-spoiled young Master Su, like this, I must teach her a lesson." With this thought in mind, Su Yang stood up, grabbed Li Fixun's hands, and pinned them against the wall. "Su Yang, what are you doing?" Li Fixun was about to pick up her drink, but was interrupted by Su Yang. Bewildered, she said, "I was just kidding. Let me go. I'm so hot, I need some water to cool down. I need some water." "Okay, I'll satisfy you." Su Yang smiled a playful smirk upon hearing this. Chapter 152. What are you spitting? Woo. After a few minutes, the two separated, and Su Yang returned to his original position. Su Yang, Li Fixun, mortified and furious, gnashed her teeth. "What did you do? Who asked you to kiss me, you? Nonsense. When did I ever ask you to kiss me?" Li Fixun, remembering what had just happened, felt a wave of shame, her beautiful face flushing like a ripe apple. "Didn't you just say you needed some water?" "I didn't intend to kiss you, but when I heard you needed it, I had no choice but to give you my saliva. After all, you're my wife, and a little loss won't hurt. I'm determined to satisfy you." Su Yang spoke righteously and selflessly. "Honey, don't thank me. This is what I should do. If you need saliva next time, I can still satisfy you." "Oh my god, that's killing me. I meant I was spicing the hot pot and needed a drink." "Who wants to drink your saliva?" Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang. Su Yang said, "What's water? It quenches my thirst, isn't it?" "Honey, is it still spicy?" "Not spicy anymore, but..." Li Fixun gritted her teeth and said, "Su Yang, I can't convince you. I won't talk to you anymore. Don't ever mention what happened just now, okay?" Su Yang agreed, then picked up a shrimp paste for Li Fixun and said with a smile, "Honey, eat the shrimp paste." "I won't eat the shrimp paste you picked up with your chopsticks," Li Fixun pouted, her face full of disgust. "You still think I'm dirty, honey? That's wrong. How much saliva is on the chopsticks? You just drank." "Su Yang, shut up. I can eat this shrimp paste, right?" Li Fixun interrupted hurriedly, then swallowed it in one gulp. Haha. Seeing this, Su Yang's lips curled with a playful smile, and his whole body relaxed. After spending time with Li Fixun, he truly felt that she was a treasure girl and became more and more interested in her. "Wife." Li Fixun was eating hot pot when Su Yang suddenly remembered something and said with a smile, "I have a gift for you, don't give me the smack." Li Fixun ate some tripe, then said with a sullen face, "Last time you said you'd give me a gift, but you gave me some tadpoles instead. So insincere. I don't want your gift, this time there's a real gift," Su Yang said seriously. "No kidding, it's right here with me." "Really?" Li Fixun put down her chopsticks, instantly intrigued. "Yeah, then take it out and let me see what it is." Li Fixun's beautiful eyes sparkled, clearly filled with anticipation for the gift. Okay, Su Yang smiled and reached into his arms, ready to take the gift. However, this gesture was merely to conceal his stored ring. Ever since he got it, Su Yang had placed everything he owned inside. However, he was afraid that taking something out of thin air would startle Li Fixun, so he feigned reaching into his arms. Honey, close your eyes and hold your hand out. I want to give you a surprise, Su Yang said with a smile as he groped in his arms. Li Fixun did as he was told, growing increasingly curious about what gift Su Yang would give her. Su Yang fumbled in his arms for a few seconds before pulling out a black sock and placing it on Li Fixun's delicate, fair hand. He smiled. Honey, you can open your eyes now. Su Yang, how come this gift is so light and soft? Li Fixun opened her eyes as she spoke. Upon seeing the sock in her hand, her expression froze. She said with a puzzled expression, Su Yang, how come this gift looks so much like men's socks? Ahem. Su Yang coughed twice, then touched the bridge of his nose and said, it is indeed a sock. Socks. Su Yang, Li Fixun, realizing what she was doing, instantly turned unhappy. With a sullen face, she said, you're so filthy. What's your special hobby? Why are you giving me socks? With that, she was about to toss the sock to Su Yang. Wife, Su Yang chuckled softly. Don't throw it away. This isn't just any sock. It can withstand a full-strength attack from a peak grandmaster and reflect all damage back. It can save your life in a critical moment. A talisman crafted from a single energy stone can withstand a full-strength attack from a mid-stage grandmaster. However, Su Yang used 2 energy stones to craft this sock talisman. 1 plus 1 is greater than 2, so it can withstand attacks from a peak grandmaster. Of course, Su Yang also placed a small formation on top of it, which not only blocks damage but also reflects an equal amount of damage. If the attacker isn't paying attention, the sock talisman could even be fatal. However, this effect was added later. The one given to Wang Fuge was simply an attack talisman, capable of killing a late-stage grandmaster. The sock talisman Su Yang had previously used at the 9 Gates Black Market had consumed 4 energy stones, so it could kill a half-step Earth sect member. Grandmaster level, a full-strength attack, and even a rebound. Li Fixun was momentarily stunned after hearing Su Yang's explanation. She asked in disbelief, Su Yang, you're not kidding me, are you? Are these socks really that magical? Li Fixun came from one of the 4 great clan families. While not a traditional martial artist herself, she was acquainted with ancient martial arts and naturally understood what it meant to be a grandmaster. Why would I lie to you? Keep it safe and carry it close to you. It will protect you in a critical moment, Su Yang said seriously. Besides, if the socks are destroyed, I'll be immediately aware and able to determine your location. In short, you must keep them close to you. Okay, I understand, Li Fixun said seriously, then solemnly put the socks into her pocket. Honey, keep these socks safe. When you get lonely late at night, you can cuddle with them to sleep. Su Yang smiled. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang, and then asked, Su Yang, you didn't wash this sock, did you? Guess, you're so disgusting, ha ha ha. Su Yang really liked being with Li Fixun, and that feeling was particularly comfortable, unprecedented. However, happy times are always short-lived. After eating hot pot, the two separated. Li Fixun had to go to school, and Su Yang hated school so much that he naturally refused to go. So after sending Li Fixun to school, he drove to the Su family manor. After returning to Jiangbei, the reason why Su Yang did not return to the manor to visit his father immediately was because he knew that his father's injury was not serious and only needed half a month of conditioning to heal. As it turned out, Su Shenbing recovered very well. He was sitting in a wheelchair. When he saw Su Yang, he gritted his teeth and said, "Smelly boy, where have you been these days? You still know how to come back." Chapter 153, Finding Out Dad's Opinion. Su Yang looked at Su Shenbing in feigned surprise, saying, "Oh my god, Dad, I haven't seen you in a few days. Why are you in a wheelchair?" "I had a little accident," Su Shenbing replied. What accident? Su Yang knew the truth, but feigned ignorance. He guessed, "Damn it, Dad, you didn't get caught on ward rounds at the club, got so scared you jumped over the wall and broke your leg. Screw you." "Am I that kind of person?" Su Shenbing's face darkened. "That's right," Su Yang nodded seriously and whispered, "You're the type who often studies porn at home. You have no interest in clubs or anything like that, Dad, you can't do that." Just studying positions without experimenting won't help you gain experience, Su Yang continued. Mom's been gone 5 years. Dad, you might consider finding me a stepmother. I don't mind. I remember a lot of ladies from prominent families still have feelings for you. You could marry a beautiful one, and then you'll have someone to take care of you in the future, Su Yang said seriously. You little brat, you know shit. Once you've seen the sea, all other waters are but puddles, all other mountains are but mounds. Su Shenping sat on the wheel, his face full of nostalgia and said, after knowing how good your mother was, other women were just vulgar women and skeletons in my eyes, not worth mentioning. Also, although your mother is not with us, she has always been in my heart. I believe that sooner or later, she will return to Jiangbei and live with us, Su Shenping said with longing. Hey, Dad, you've been poisoned by my mom, and you're terminally ill, Su Yang smiled and said, but the dead can't be resurrected, we have to move on, the dead can't be resurrected. Hearing this, a strange look flashed in Su Shenping's eyes. He didn't continue the topic, but asked, you bastard, you haven't answered me yet, what have you been doing these days? Oh, I went out to play for a few days, Su Yang smiled playfully and said, Dad, it turns out that ancient warriors are so strong. These days I've been fighting continuously in high-end clubs and other places, conquering all directions, and I didn't feel exhausted at all. Until now I still feel energetic. Su Yang, are you trying to piss me off? Su Shenping roared angrily. The head of the Li family took out the Tongshan pill to help you become an ancient warrior and let you step into the middle stage of Huijin, but it wasn't for you to use it to visit the club. Dad, keep your voice down. Walls have ears. Don't air dirty laundry in public. Don't let outsiders hear it, Su Yang whispered. You idiot. You even know that dirty laundry shouldn't be aired in public. Su Shenping was furious, but he still cooperated by lowering his voice and whispering, Su Yang, from now on, you are not allowed to go to the club. You can't do anything to let Li Fixun down, or I will let you experience what true fatherly love is. Dad, let's wait until you're healed. You're in a wheelchair now. We can just be a loving father and a filial son, living in harmony. Isn't that good? Su Yang said with a playful smile. You bastard. Su Shenping stared at his son angrily and said through gritted teeth, you've been idling around all day. In my opinion, even if you use the Tongshan pill to become an ancient warrior, your upper limit will not be very high. The Huijin realm may be your ceiling. Yes, Dad, you're right. Su Yang stopped arguing and then tried to sound out his father's opinion, so he asked, Dad, tell me the truth, how did you get injured? 3 days ago, your grandfather and I were waiting for my uncle Xuantian at the Juman black market. Did we meet? Su Shenping did not hide it and continued, not long after you left, a strong man showed up and was instructed to kill me. Before killing me, he used various means to torture me severely. Su Shenping gritted his teeth when he said this. Damn it, Su Yang cried angrily upon hearing this. Dad, where's that man? How dare he abuse my father, young Master Su? I can't kill him. Hearing his son's words, Su Shenping felt a warm glow in his heart. He continued, he's very powerful, having already reached the half-step Earth sect stage. You're no match for him, and besides, he's already dead. Dead, Su Yang exclaimed in shock. Dad, he's so powerful. What kind of a god-awful master could possibly kill him? It was Su Xuantian. Su Shenping smiled and said, my uncle Xuantian used every trick in his book to ultimately defeat that man, and, to avenge me, he didn't let that man die. I heard that Uncle Xuantian used his sword to slice him into countless pieces. Su Shenping was filled with pride when he mentioned Su Xuantian. Too powerful. Su Xuantian is simply a peerless genius, a contemporary figure. I'd really love to be his friend if I had the chance, Su Yang boasted, unashamedly. You little bastard. Su Xuantian is my uncle. What are you thinking of making friends with him? Su Shenping said with a scowl. Dad, once Su Xuantian and I become friends, we can go our separate ways, Su Yang said with a smile. Get lost. Nonsense. Su Shenping gritted his teeth and said, don't even think about it. Su Xuantian will always be my uncle. He's your grandpa Su. Am I my own grandfather again? Su Yang gave a wry smile, then looked at Su Shenping and asked, Dad, why did that half-step Earth sect master you mentioned want to kill you? And it seems grandpa got hurt in a fight a while ago. Does our family have any enemies? All those previous questions were just prelude. This was what Su Yang wanted to know most. Upon hearing this, Su Shenping met Su Yang's gaze. After a few seconds of silence, He finally made a decision. Su Shenping stared at Su Yang, his expression grave. Now that you've entered the ranks of ancient martial artists, there are some things I can tell you. You'll have to face them sooner or later anyway. Our Su family does have a mortal enemy. They're from the ancient martial sect, one of the 6 most powerful. I won't tell you the details, for fear you'll piss your pants. Su Shenping continued. The man who tried to kill me the other night was from the Shadowless sect. He was an elder there. His strength isn't particularly high within the sect, and the Shadowless sect is only a mid-level sect in the ancient martial arts world, far inferior to our enemy, Su Shenping speculated. Presumably, that man was instructed to come to Jiangbei to kill me. To put it simply, this comparison clearly shows how powerful our Su family's enemies are, Su Shenping said solemnly. Indeed. One of the Shadowless sect's elders is a half-step earthly master, and the others are certainly even stronger. The Su family's opponent is not the Shadowless sect, but a behemoth that is even stronger than the Shadowless sect. This shows that the Su family is in crisis. Chapter 154. Are you going to the club? Su Yang's current strength was definitely insufficient. Even if his cultivation system was powerful, it wouldn't allow him to possess the power to crush the ancient martial arts world in just 10 days. Time. Su Yang needed time. Give him a little more time, and he would surely reach the point of sweeping the ancient martial arts world. Moreover, this time wouldn't be too long. Originally, Su Yang thought it would take at least several decades to build his foundation. But now, after only a dozen days, he had already reached the 5th level of key training. Earth still had abundant resources, and with sufficient spiritual energy, Su Yang was confident that he could quickly build his foundation. Unlike the Xuantian immortal realm, Earth's laws of the Dao were very weak. After building his foundation, Su Yang would be able to fly and display all his skills. His formations, talismans, and refining techniques would also be elevated to a higher level. However, the opponent had already sent a half-step Earth sect member. I wonder if they would give him time. With this thought in mind, Su Yang looked at Su Shenping and couldn't help asking, Dad, was the person who injured Grandpa last time also a half-step Earth sect member? No. Su Shenping shook his head and said, the guy who came to Jiangbei last time was the real culprit who wanted to destroy our Su family. That person is very young, but he is already a master at the peak of the Grandmaster level. He is a young master hidden away by a major sect and usually does not show up. Su Shenping continued, he must have been afraid, so he didn't send strong men to destroy the Su family directly at the beginning, but chose to do it himself. However, he didn't expect your grandfather to be so powerful, so he returned empty-handed. Su Shenping's face was heavy. Perhaps he was too eager to destroy the Su family, so a few days ago, he ordered the elders of the Wu Ying sect to come and kill me. However, Su Yang, you don't have to worry too much. The major sects in the ancient martial arts world are holding a grand competition recently. The young talents of many sects are preparing for the ancient martial arts competition. I believe that person is also carefully preparing and has no intention of targeting our Su family. Su Shenping smiled wryly. After all, in his eyes, the Su family is just an ant that can be crushed at any moment. Yeah, Su Yang nodded, taking note. He disliked this feeling of uncertainty and needed to improve his strength as quickly as possible. Alright, Su Yang, it's good that you know these things. Don't worry too much, Su Shenping continued. Our Su family still has a certain influence in China. That person won't go too far, and I've already thought of a way to deal with it. What method? Su Yang asked curiously. Uncle Xuantian is so young, yet he was able to kill a half-step Earth sect master. He must be from a transcended sect, Su Shenping said seriously. Once my injuries heal, I'll continue to visit Uncle Xuantian at the 9 Gates Black Market. If he's willing to help, our Su family will surely escape this disaster. Su Yang smiled wryly upon hearing this. He didn't have a formidable background behind him. However, Su Yang thought of the Medicine King Hall that Hua Shimeo had mentioned, and his thoughts were stirred. According to Hua Shimeo, the Medicine King Hall gathers nearly all the world's medical practitioners. Its prestige is so high that it can call upon many powerful individuals and exerts a formidable influence. If he could gain status within the Medicine King Hall, wouldn't that give him a powerful backer? It seemed that attending the Medicine King Hall elder election meeting was essential. If possible, Su Yang wanted to challenge the hall master. While his strength might not be enough, his medical skills were more than enough to surpass all other doctors on Earth. Of course, Su Yang would observe carefully first. If the Medicine King Hall was not a one-man show, and if his medical skills earned the respect of all doctors, and if all doctors united, they could punish the Hall Master, then he would challenge the Hall Master. Otherwise, Su Yang would become an elder first, so as not to act too aggressively and cause the current Hall Master to reject him. With this in mind, Su Yang decided to go find Hua Shimao to inquire more about the Medicine King Hall. He said, "Dad, you must be tired after all this talk. Get some rest." "I need to go to school." "What? You bastard. Didn't you just come back from the club? Why are you going there again, unexpectedly?" Su Shenping said angrily. "Dad, are you really deaf? I said I was going to school," Su Yang shouted with a sullen face. "Just go to the club. Why are you shouting so loudly? Are you afraid others won't know?" Su Shenping scolded. Su Yang repeated, "Damn it, I'm going to school. When others say they're going to school, they really are. But when you say that, it sounds like you're going to the club." Su Shenping, looking as if he'd seen through Su Yang, said distrustfully, You're actually going to school? Haha, I'd believe you even if you said a sow would climb a tree, but I wouldn't believe you even if you were beaten to death. Fuck, I'm just going to the club, okay? Bye." Su Yang didn't bother to explain and simply left the Su family manor. HMPH, admit it. "I guessed right, you just want to go to the club." Su Shenping's face darkened as he reminded him, "You bastard, be careful and don't overdo it. Even ancient warriors can't play all day and all night. My son's grown up, and he's a real worry. When will he finally stop worrying?" Su Shenping sighed and had the Su family's servants push him into the study. "Go down. Don't bother me if you have nothing to do. I'll sit in the study alone for a while." Su Shenping dismissed the servants who were waiting on him, then his eyes fell on the tablet on the desk, and he struggled to move forward. His limbs were broken, and the injuries were severe. He needed some time to recover, so for now, he couldn't use his hands or feet. However, Su Shenping's neck was fine. He forced himself forward, entered the password with his tongue, opened the tablet, and clicked on the latest exciting movies. What's the point of going to a club, you ignorant person? It's not as exciting, thrilling, and thrilling as porn. Su Shenping sat in his wheelchair, staring intently at the tablet screen, his eyes shining. Every time he watched a movie, he was in the most relaxed state, so comfortable. But this time, the only flaw was, his hands were broken and couldn't move. About 40 minutes later, Su Yang drove to Bohemia University. He had already been there once, to drop Li Fixun off at school, and he didn't expect to be there again so soon. The school guards were all snobs. When they saw Su Yang's Ferrari, they immediately opened the barrier with the remote control. Su Yang drove into the campus, called to confirm that Hua Shimao was in the office, and then strode up. At the same time, one of the four major families in Jiangbei, the Dong family manor. After several days of investigation, the Dong family finally got an accurate news that Senior Jie Pingzhi had been murdered. This shocked the head of the Dong family, Dong Wensheng. Senior Jie was an elder of the Wu Ying sect and a master of the half-step earth sect. He actually died at the hands of a young man. It's horrifying. Dong Wensheng's face was full of disbelief, and he couldn't help asking, what is the origin of this Su Xuantian? Chapter 155, Location of the Medical Conference. The elder of the Wu Ying sect, who was at the half-step earth sect realm, came to Jiangbei. He was supposed to be pushing the small city of Jiangbei with a high profile, but he ended up dying in Jiangbei. This is unbelievable. Master, Su Xuantian seemed to have suddenly appeared. There was no information about him in Jiangbei before, the subordinate next to Dong Wensheng said. I've been asking around in the Nine Gates black market for a long time, but there's no concrete news. I only know that the young master Su Xuantian and Su Qianqin are sworn brothers. Sworn brothers? Dong Wensheng asked puzzledly. Do you mean that Su Qianqin, with his buzz cut and white hair, has known Su Xuantian for a long time? Probably not. They only met a few days ago, the subordinate explained. A few days ago, for some unknown reason, the Smiling Buddha threatened to destroy the Su family, but before he could do anything, Su Xuantian killed him. It seems that Su Xuantian killed the Smiling Buddha because he had a crush on him, thinking he was an ordinary person, so he wanted to kill and rob him, and this led to a feud between the two. The subordinate continued. After Su Xuantian killed the Smiling Buddha, Su Qianqin went to the Nine Gates black market to find Su Xuantian the next day. He even took out 2 energy stones and eagerly asked Su Xuantian to become sworn brothers. This Su Qianqin has great tricks. He easily pulled Su Xuantian into the Su family's camp, Dong Wensheng sneered, and then asked, "What does Su Xuantian want to do with the energy stone? The energy in it cannot be absorbed by ancient warriors." "I don't know," the subordinate shook his head. "No matter what, this Su Xuantian must pay the price. The Wuang sect will never let him go." Dong Wensheng's face was filled with worry. "I just hope the Wuang sect won't blame our Dong family, Master. Senior Ge's death had nothing to do with us." "Logically, the Wuang sect wouldn't blame us." "Logically," Dong Wensheng smiled bitterly. "Why would the Wuang sect be reasonable with us? In their eyes, our Dong family is dispensable. They're just afraid that they'll blame us for Senior Ge's death." "No, I'm going to the Wuang sect myself and make arrangements to protect the Dong family." Dong Wensheng made his decision and then asked, "What has Zikin been busy with these past few days?" "Master, as per your instructions, young Master Zikin has been practicing his spoken English, and his speech has become less and less mixed with foreign languages," the subordinate continued. "I saw young Master Zikin go out this afternoon. I don't know what he did." "Well, that's one good thing about my son. He's not like other rich kids who bully others and cause trouble for the family." Mentioning Dong Zikin, Dong Wensheng felt slightly relieved, a rare smile breaking into his face. At this moment, Su Yang met Hua Shimiao in his office. "Master, I've consulted in detail. The medical conference will be held in 5 days, Hua Shimiao said respectfully. "What a coincidence. I received news last night that the venue for the medical conference has been chosen to be Jiangbei." "Jiangbei," Su Yang frowned slightly. "Where have the medical conferences been held in the past?" "Kyoto, without exception. It's always been in Kyoto, but this time, it's been decided in Jiangbei," Hua Shimiao responded. "As far as I know, the venue is chosen by Hall Master Zhang Ruomu. At that time, all the doctors in the Medicine King Hall will come to Jiangbei to participate in the medical conference." An inexplicable change of venue? Su Yang's frown deepened. There was definitely something wrong. "Master, I have a friend in power in Kyoto, so I got some information." At this time, Hua Shimiao whispered, 3 days ago, a big event happened on the border of East Xinjiang. One of the 10 great generals of China, the goddess of war, that is, your sister Su Jingao, led her troops into Country D, but was surrounded by 80,000 enemy soldiers and was in danger. Having said that, Hua Shimiao looked at Su Yang, and continued, "Master, you don't have to worry, Miss Su has been rescued. She was rescued by a man and a dog. The terrifying thing is that man and dog actually killed 80,000 soldiers of Country D, 2 mid-stage grandmasters, and even a half-step Earth sect, which shocked the top leaders of China." Hua Shimiao murmured, "I don't know who that man is. He actually has such terrifying strength, and that dog, it's simply horrifying. Haha, of course I'm not worried about my sister's safety, because the one who saved her is me." At this time, Su Yang smiled faintly. What? Hua Shimiao was stunned when he heard that, and said in shock, "Master, you mean that you went to Dongjiang and rescued Miss Su? That mysterious master was you?" Hua Shimiao's friends had average power, so they didn't know much. Su Yang nodded, then asked doubtfully, "What does this have to do with the relocation of the medical conference?" "I didn't know just now, but now I have a rough guess." Hua Shimiao looked at Su Yang respectfully, then said, "Master, I've mentioned the current situation of the Medicine King Hall to you before. The Medicine King Hall has many doctors and an astonishing influence. Even the leaders of the major sects and figures at the level of the immortals have to give the Medicine King Hall some face, but there are no true masters in the Medicine King Hall, masters who belong exclusively to the Medicine King Hall." Hua Shimiao continued, "No matter how powerful those external aids are, they are meaningless. In the final analysis, they are just external aid. Once the Medicine King Hall faces a life or death crisis, how many people are willing to lend a hand?" Of course, over the years, many independent cultivators have wanted to join the Medicine King Hall, but those old guys have ulterior motives, and successive hall masters have dared not accept them. Hua Shimiao smiled bitterly and said, "This has led to the lack of top-level ancient martial arts masters in the Medicine King Hall, and 3 days ago, the young master who wiped out 80,000 people in Country D, everyone speculated that he had already stepped into the half-step Earth sect. Such a young half-step Earth sect has unlimited achievements in the future." Hua Shimiao explained the reason. "So, the Medicine King Hall had the idea of winning him over and training him. I heard from a friend that the hall master and many elders held a meeting and decided that at all costs, the young strong man must be introduced to the Medicine King Hall. It would be best if that young Earth sect member has no sect. You if he has a sect, Use the resources of the Medicine King Hall, coercion and inducement. No matter what, that person must have only one identity, that is, a member of the Medicine King Hall. Huashimeo smiled lightly. Master. Now I know that the young Earth sect member is you. Think about it carefully. The change of venue of the medical conference must be aimed at Xuantian. After all, it is well known that Xuantian has only appeared in Jiangbei. Master, this time, it should be a foregone conclusion that you will become an elder of the Medicine King Hall. Huashimeo smiled happily, looking forward to rising with his master. Su Yang understood. The Medicine King Hall wanted to cultivate a gifted and loyal genius, hoping to change the situation where the Medicine King Hall lacked a peak powerhouse. Su Yang needed an influential and powerful backer, as well as abundant resources rich in spiritual energy. The Medicine King Hall possessed all of these, which was exactly what he wanted. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156, 2 more transfers. After figuring out the Medicine King Hall's intentions, Su Yang secretly began to make plans. Since the medical conference was being held in Jiangbei, it would save him a lot of trouble. At that time, he could participate as Xuantian, show off his skills, and naturally become an elder. As for whether to challenge the position of Hall Master, that would depend on the circumstances. Master, besides the medical conference, there's something else I feel I need to tell you, Huashimeo said respectfully. Su Yang frowned and said, what's the matter? The god of war Science under Prince Ping has already set off for Jiangbei, and may arrive tonight. Huashimeo continued, according to the information I received, the god of war Science received an order from Prince Ping to come to Jiangbei to make friends with that young master. I was very curious before, why so many young masters suddenly appeared in Jiangbei. Haha, I didn't expect that the person who killed 80,000 enemy soldiers was you, Master. Huashimeo continued, so, Master, the god of war Science is also coming for you, Prince Ping, god of war Science. Su Yang frowned slightly, obviously not knowing these two people. Seeing his master's confusion, Huashimeo explained, Master, Prince Ping is the brother of the current emperor. He commands a large army and is the Grand Marshal of Hui. He has 10 generals under his command. Your sister, Su Jingguo, is one of the 10 generals, and so is Zhao Science, the god of war of Science, so he's my sister's immediate superior. Su Yang smiled and then asked, what achievements has this Zhao Science made that he's on par with my sister? He's the god of war of Science, guarding the southern border. He once killed 120,000 enemy troops in a single fell swoop, terrifying the various countries in the southern border. When Zhao Science was mentioned, Huashimeo rarely showed a hint of awe, and then said, Master, Zhao Science is a national treasure and a pillar of the great Hua. His prestige has always been very high. Yes, I understand. Su Yang nodded. Master, if Zhao Science wants to see you, will you meet him or not? Huashimeo inquired. No, Su Yang chuckled softly. Prince Ping sent him to find me simply to recruit me into his service. I've spent my life exploring the mountains and rivers, unwilling to be bound by anything. How could I possibly be a subordinate of a prince like him? Meeting him or not doesn't mean much, just keep an eye on the medical conference for me. Notify me when you have any news. Don't pay too much attention to anything else, Su Yang said calmly. Yes, Huashimeo responded respectfully, then couldn't help but ask, Master, I heard that the counterattack against 80,000 people was carried out by one man and one dog. Does that mean you have a very powerful pet dog? Huh? Su Yang didn't answer, but raised an eyebrow at Huashimeo and said coldly, have you forgotten what I said just now? Damn you, disciple. I spoke too much? Please punish me, Master, Huashimeo said in a panic. There's no need for punishment. Next time, don't ask questions you shouldn't. There are some things you're better off asking. Su Yang's expression was cold, but then he changed the subject. How's my grandfather's recovery going? I saw him a few days ago, and he didn't seem fully healed. Master, Grandpa Su is now fully recovered, Huashimeo said. Grandpa Su was originally quite frail and had been injured for years. So I controlled the dosage of the medicine. Grandpa Su has recovered well these past few days and feels much stronger. I increased the potency of the medicine, and he was fully recovered yesterday, Huashimeo added. His analysis was correct. Su Qianqin's hidden illness had been present for too long and needed to be nurtured slowly. Otherwise, it would be like forcing things to grow. This was the main reason Su Yang didn't personally treat his grandfather after his rebirth. Even if he did, he would do it slowly, healing while the body was being nurtured. This was the most beneficial approach for the body. Hua Shimiao, thank you for treating my grandfather. Su Yang looked at Hua Shimiao and asked, 9-turn rejuvenation needle, how are you practicing? Are you familiar with the second turn, master? You're too polite. This is what I should do. Hua Shimiao smiled, then said embarrassedly, I can barely operate the second turn, but I'm still not proficient enough. Take your time. You don't have much talent, but with hard work you still have the chance to master it. Su Yang smiled gently and said, next, I'll teach you 2 more turns. Watch carefully. As he finished speaking, Su Yang looked at the human model next to him, pulled out the silver needles on it, and quickly inserted them into the acupuncture points, explaining as he did so. 8 minutes later, Su Yang withdrew his hand, his gaze falling on Hua Shimiao. He said calmly, I've placed the silver needles on the acupuncture points. Just practice on them. Thank you, master. Hua Shimiao was overwhelmed with excitement. The 9-turn rejuvenation needle is amazing. If I could master the 4th turn, I'd be able to crush most doctors. Thank you, master, for teaching me the 9-turn rejuvenation needle. Haha, you're a frog in a well. In my eyes, the 9-turn rejuvenation needle is just the most basic acupuncture technique, not worth mentioning at all. Su Yang's eyes were full of contempt, and he strode out of the office. Farewell, master. Hua Shimiao bent down and respectfully said goodbye to Su Yang. He didn't dare to stand up until Su Yang left. Hua Shimiao's cloudy eyes shone as he gazed at the mannequin, his gaze gleaming. He couldn't help but mutter to himself, 9-turn rejuvenation needle, how exquisite, but to master, this is just the most basic acupuncture technique. Master, what is its origin? Hua Shimiao was filled with doubt, but then he withdrew his thoughts. Master forbade him to ask further questions, and he decided to stop thinking about such questions. Grandpa, Hua Qingde walked in and asked curiously, the person who just left looked so much like Su Yang from behind. Was that him? Yes, it's young Master Su. Hua Shimiao came back to his senses and nodded. Qingde, why are you here at school today? Ever since discovering Nalan Ming's true identity, Hua Qingde had been heartbroken for several days and had taken leave from school, which was why Hua Shimiao asked. Grandpa, let bygones be bygones. I've gotten myself back on my feet, Hua Qingde said with a soft smile. Her sadness wasn't because she loved Nalan Ming's, but because she felt she'd been deceived. Actually, it was. Hua Qingde only had some yearning for Nalan Ming's, and indeed had a hint of affection for him. However, the seed of love was destroyed before it had time to take root and sprout. The young man on the road, gentle as jade. In Hua Qingde's heart, Nalan Ming's was such an image. But that night she realized that all the humility and gentleness, all the politeness, were all pretended. The real Nalan Ming's was a despicable villain who went back on his word and would do anything to achieve his goals. Hua Qingde felt that she had been deceived, and deceived very thoroughly, so she was very sad. But now, she has figured it out. Anyway, she has nothing to lose, so she might as well treat it as recognizing a dog. Qingde, it's best that you can see things more clearly. When you get a boyfriend in the future, you must keep your eyes open and let your grandfather check it for you first. Hua Shimiao showed a kind smile, and suddenly thought of Su Yang, and couldn't help asking, Qingde, what do you think of young Master Su? Chapter 157, Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine or Department of Finance. Young Master Su. Hearing Grandpa's question, Hua Qingde instantly understood what Grandpa meant, and her face flushed red. Qingde, why are you blushing? Could it be that you've had a crush on young Master Su for a long time? Hua Shimiao asked with a smile. Grandpa, Hua Qingde reacted and said with a red face, what are you talking about? Su Yang is Fei Zhuan's fiancé, and they are a pair. That's nothing. Hua Shimiao was very open-minded and smiled lightly. Su Yang is a very outstanding young man. He is destined to have many women around him. It's great that you can be with him. Okay, Grandpa, stop talking nonsense, or I'll be angry. Hua Qingde gritted her teeth and said, also, didn't Su Yang help me see the true face of Nalan Ming's? Apart from that, what's so great about him? He is a playboy who often goes to high-end clubs. I don't like him. Qingde, what do you know? I don't allow you to say that about Su Yang. Hua Shimao had just learned 2 turns of acupuncture, so he naturally had to protect his master, so he said seriously, "What's wrong with going to clubs often?" Such a man is used to seeing flowers and plants, and his concentration is extraordinary, so he can withstand temptation even better. Besides, men can learn a lot of skills at the club, ensuring a happy married life, Hua Shimao said seriously. Hua Qingde was surprised. "Grandpa, since when has going to the club become a good thing? Learning skills? You're a professor at a prestigious university, and you can even use the word learning to describe that, why not?" Hua Shimao realized that his words were a bit inappropriate, but he chose to defend his master and had no choice but to stick to his guns. Life is a learning process. Understanding what you're not good at is also learning. Not good at? "Grandpa, Su Yang has been going to the club every day for years. He's good at it, but he keeps going." Hua Qingde gritted her teeth. "That's called endless learning?" Hua Shimao looked at Hua Qingde and said seriously, "From this incident, we can see that Su Yang has unyielding perseverance. He will definitely become a leader in the future." Hua Qingde was speechless, unable to find a suitable rebuttal. After a pause of a few seconds, Hua Qingde muttered, "Grandpa, tell me honestly, does Su Yang have something on you?" "No." "Then why do you keep speaking for him?" Hua Qingde asked doubtfully. Hua Shimao felt a little embarrassed and said, "Grandpa, I am seeking truth from facts." "Seeking truth from facts? Haha, Grandpa, you are really interesting." Hua Qingde didn't believe it at all, and curled her lips and said, "Forget it, I won't talk to you about Su Yang. I came to you because I plan to resign. I don't want to be a counselor anymore." "Well, what's the matter?" Hua Shimao frowned. "Being a teacher is too tiring. I just graduated from college and don't want to waste my youth. Besides, I graduated from a dance academy, and being a counselor in the Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine is not a suitable major." Hua Qingde continued, "It just so happens that Fei Xuan has set up a dance training class. I plan to go there and start a business with her to carry forward classical dance. Hey, I felt that the society outside was too chaotic, so I used my connections to transfer you to the Chinese medicine hospital." Hua Shimao sighed and said, "After the Nalanming's incident came out, I realized that I was wrong. I should have kept you by my side. If you had been exposed to society early and knew all the intrigues and scheming, maybe you wouldn't have been deceived by Nalanming's." Hua Shimao continued, "Okay, Qingde, I accept your resignation, but there is one thing you must remember. If you encounter any problems that cannot be solved, you must tell me first. If you have a boyfriend, you must let your grandfather check it for you," Hua Shimao warned. Hua Qingde smiled and said, "Okay, Grandpa, I don't want to have a relationship anytime soon." "How can that be? You're already so old, so fair-skinned, and in such a great shape. It would be a shame not to have a relationship." At this point, Hua Shimao mentioned Su Yang again, smiling. "Actually, Su Yang is really good. You should seriously consider him." Hua Qingde curled her lips and said, "Grandpa, have I done something wrong to offend you? Why do you always want me to be your mistress? You're still young?" Hua Shimao smiled and shook his head, not continuing the topic. Hua Shimao was well aware of Master Su Yang's strength and talent, and his future achievements were limitless. Truly powerful men usually have 3 wives and 4 concubines, surrounded by beautiful women. Being a woman by the side of such a powerful man is much more comfortable than being the wife of an ordinary person. Hua Shimao, having been in the world for most of his life, naturally understood this principle, but Hua Qingde didn't, so he didn't bring it up again. At this moment, Su Yang was walking through the school and soon arrived at Class 8, Grade 21, Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Now that he was at school, he had to see his wife. Besides, he hadn't even been to her class yet. He wondered if there were any scoundrels in there who might be plotting against her. If there were, he'd have to put them down. So, Su Yang stood at the door of Class 8 of the Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine and took a closer look, but didn't see Li Fixun. "Strange, why isn't my wife in the classroom?" Puzzled, Su Yang called Li Fixun and chuckled softly, "Honey, it's class time. Where were you? Why weren't you in class?" "I'm in class, right now," Li Fixun said, her voice low. "Impossible. I was right outside Class 8, Grade 21, Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine." "I didn't see you," Su Yang asked, puzzled. "Did I go to the wrong class?" "Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine." Li Fixun paused, then gritted her teeth and said, "You idiot. You're not in the wrong class, You're in the wrong department. I'm in the finance department. Finance? Yeah, didn't I tell you last time you asked me? Maybe I misheard, Su Yang said, slightly embarrassed. I heard it wrong, Su Yang. Maybe there's something wrong with your ears. Li Fixun hung up the phone angrily. Department of Finance. Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Su Yang remembered that what his wife said that day seemed to be the Department of Finance. He really heard it wrong and repeated it at that time. It was funny to think about it. Fuck, the Immortal Emperor is hard of hearing. Su Yang laughed at himself, put away his phone and left the Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine. A few minutes later, Su Yang came to Class 8 of the Department of Finance and saw Li Fixun from a distance. At this moment, Li Fixun was wearing a red ancient costume with a waisted long skirt. Her tall and slender figure, coupled with her stunning face, could fully support this outfit. Hey, wife, weren't you in class? Why did you come out? Su Yang greeted with a smile. Chapter 158 Young Master Wang is filled with righteous indignation. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and said with disgust, I'm just worried that you, a big idiot, can't find your class. Haha, honey, that mishearing was just an accident. Actually, my hearing is pretty good. Su Yang chuckled softly. I can even hear you praising my handsomeness in your heart. Stop talking nonsense, my real dragon. Deaf MR? Li Fixun curled her lips and laughed. Ahem. Su Yang didn't want to continue this topic, so he said, Wife, I remember when I sent you to school, you were not wearing this outfit. When did you change? I was rehearsing a dance just now. This is your dance costume. I came out after receiving your call and didn't have time to change back, is that so? Then honey, go practice your dance. I just happened to be peeping. Su Yang smiled. I'm tired from dancing. I had hot pot for lunch, and I'm a little thirsty. I need a drink. Li Fixun was speaking when she suddenly saw Su Yang leaning in, seemingly about to kiss her. She quickly said, I need some mineral water. If I don't, woo. Before Li Fixun could finish her words, Su Yang blocked her mouth and began to nibble on him, oblivious to the others. At first, Li Fixun patted Su Yang's chest, but gradually, her body softened, and she leaned against him, cooperating. Although Li Fixun had a striking figure, about 5 minutes and 10 seconds, she didn't wear high heels because she was dancing classical dance. Su Yang, standing over 5 feet 8 inches, bent his head just enough to kiss his wife. This intercourse continued for about 4 or 5 minutes before they separated. Then, Su Yang put his arm around Li Fixun's waist and chuckled, Honey, are you still thirsty? No. Li Fixun glared at Su Yang, her face flushed with rage. Su Yang, are you related to an alpaca? Why do you always spit? If you do that again, I won't kiss you. Hearing this, Su Yang spoke in a domineering, serious tone. Huh? Woman, if you don't kiss me, who else do you want to kiss? Whoever you want, but not you, Li Fixun said proudly, her head held high. Haha, woman, you've successfully pissed me off. Now I'm going to sneer, with a face that's 3/10 cold, 8/10 cruel, and 9/10 disdainful, and then I'm going to torture you, Su Yang said viciously. Puff, Li Fixun burst out laughing. Su Yang, you look so stupid like this, woo. Without hesitation, Su Yang kissed her again, and Li Fixun fell silent. Whether it's a girl or a woman, when dealing with them, don't worry too much, just give them a few random kisses, a couple more, and everything will be fine. After this long kiss, Li Fixun nestled obediently against Su Yang's chest, their movements incredibly sweet. Fuck, Li Fixun, the beauty from the finance department. What beauty from the finance department? She's in the dance club. I've seen her dance, and calling her the campus belle is no exaggeration. A few days ago, that video of Li Fixun dancing on the internet-famous bridge went viral. Did you know? Of course I do, but it's a shame she's young Master Su's fiancé. And today, that video of young Master Su beating up a reporter went viral too. He's so frivolous, such a scumbag. Damn, who was that man? He actually kissed Li Fixun, and it was a fucking kiss. Li Fixun didn't resist and even lay in his arms. Wait, damn, that guy is young Master Su, a beautiful flower stuck in cow dung? Damn. Ever since Li Fixun appeared, she's attracted a large crowd of students, causing quite a stir. The sight of Su Yang and Li Fixun embracing each other instantly sent the crowd into a frenzy. Everyone gnashed their teeth, feeling deeply sorry for Li Fixun. A flower stuck in cow dung. Haha, that's quite a good analysis, Li Fixun chuckled. Upon hearing this, Su Yang immediately rubbed his hands, furiously ready to teach the student who had made the comment a lesson. Su Yang, calm down. I was just joking, Li Fixun said, holding him back. No, you can't joke about something like that, Su Yang said seriously, you're my wife. I won't allow them to call you cow dung. Li Fixun paused, her smile froze. How am I the cow dung? I'm clearly the flower, okay? Did you misunderstand what I said? Run. Young Master Su is furious. This dandy young master even dared to hide a reporter. He definitely doesn't take us seriously. Don't offend him. The students nearby, seeing Su Yang's anger, immediately ran away in fear. HMPH, you're pretty fast, Su Yang gritted his teeth. Of course, he was just pretending. Given his status, he wouldn't be truly angry with these students. After all, they were on a different level. Honey, aren't you thirsty? Come on, I'll take you to get some water. Yeah, but I don't want water anymore. I want milk tea, Li Fixun said with a smile. No problem, Su Yang smiled, then took Li Fixun's hand and walked along the campus path. It was just the beginning of autumn, and the afternoon breeze was refreshing. Walking around campus with someone you love, the rustling of yellowed leaves under your feet, isn't that what love feels like? Soon, Su Yang and Li Fixun arrived at a milk tea shop outside the school gates. It was class time, so the place wasn't crowded. After ordering their milk tea, Su Yang and Li Fixun sat down to wait. Young Master Su, at this time, Wang Fuga's voice came from not far away, his tone full of excitement. Fuck, Young Master Su, it's really you, and sister-in-law Fixun. Hello, damn, you are even holding hands. When Su Yang heard the voice, he and Li Fixun walked to Wang Fuga. Among them, Su Yang looked at Wang Fuga and asked in confusion, Young Master Wang, what are you doing, me? Wang Fuga dodged his eyes and casually responded with his mobile phone, haha, I'm watching Douyin. Watching Douyin. Yes, watching Douyin. Wang Fuga turned on his mobile phone and said while playing a video, Young Master Su, you don't know, men nowadays are too sad, they have no dignity at all. Look at this video. A big and strong man was beaten by his wife by the ear. He didn't even dare to fight back, he could only scream and shout in pain. Look at this video again, damn it, as a man, he actually surrendered to the tyranny of his wife, kneading his wife's shoulders and back, without any dignity, and this video is even more infuriating. His wife asked him to kneel on the keyboard, and he was so stupid, he knelt without saying a word. His movements were smooth and skillful. You can tell at a glance that he kneels often. Wang Fuga's face was filled with disgust, and he gritted his teeth and said, Young Master Su, tell me if it's infuriating, these guys are so cowardly, they've made us men lose face. Young Master Wang, look down on them from the bottom of my heart. Sad, the sadness of being a man? Wang Fuga gritted his teeth, becoming more and more excited as he spoke. His sense of substitution seemed to be fully stretched, and he was full of contempt for the man in the video. But at this time, Su Yang looked at Wang Fuga who was kneeling on the ground and comforted him, Young Master Wang, don't be angry for now. If you have anything to say, stand up and say it. I see you kneeling on durian peel, it must be very uncomfortable. Chapter 159 Wang Fuga's Tragic Life. Durian peel. Yes. At that moment, Wang Fuga was kneeling on the durian peel, his pants rolled up, his knees in direct contact with the skin, bloodstains clearly visible along the edges. PFFT, Li Fixun, standing beside him, couldn't help but chuckle, Young Master Wang, are you trying to make me laugh to death? You're kneeling on a durian and you're complaining about someone kneeling on a keyboard. After laughing, Li Fixun realized she was being a bit rude and said, get up quickly. Stop torturing yourself. It's going to be very uncomfortable if you keep doing this, woo woo woo. Young Master Su, sister-in-law Fixun, I want to stand up too, but I don't dare. Wang Fuga burst into tears, sobbing. Why are you crying, men? Hurry up and dry yourselves. Don't embarrass me, Su Yang grumbled, then turned curiously, you're Young Master Wang. Who would dare to bully you and make you kneel on a durian? It's my girlfriend, Young Master Su. I'm in love. Woo woo woo, Wang Fuga said aggrievedly. Isn't it great to be in love? It's such a good thing. Why are you crying? You don't understand, Mr. Su. Unexpectedly, Wang Fuga cried even harder, and said with tears and snot, it's too difficult to be in love. If I can choose, I would rather die than be in love. What's going on? Who is your girlfriend? Su Yang asked puzzledly. Young Master Su, it's Liu Chushan, Wang Fuga said with a face full of grievance. You mentioned Liu Chushan to me that day. Who knew that she would come to my house as a guest that night? When I was a child, Liu Chushan and I had a very good relationship. We were childhood sweethearts, but I haven't seen her for almost 10 years. When I saw her that day, she was pretty, so I couldn't help but say a few more words to her. She was very enthusiastic towards me and would blush when she looked at me. It was obvious that she liked me. Wang Fuga continued, Young Master Su, you know me. How could I let go of a girl who took the initiative to come to me? After a while, she became my girlfriend. We developed very quickly and were just one step away from taking the last step, but Liu Chushan was too conservative. When I proposed to do that, she directly refused and even wanted to hit me. How could I, the dignified young Master Wang, be willing to be beaten by a woman? I fought back at that time. At this point, Wang Fuga gritted his teeth and said with tears in his eyes, but damn, I found that I couldn't beat her at all. Liu Chushan, this woman, is actually an ancient martial artist, and it seems that she has already stepped into the realm of Huajin. She is particularly powerful. I was beaten badly and couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. When I almost recovered, I found Liu Chushan and broke up with her. Wang Fuga continued, she didn't even let me touch her and was so barbaric. A girl like this is not worthy of being my girlfriend, young Master Wang. But Liu Chushan disagreed. She said that since I held her hand and hugged her, I should be responsible for her. What kind of responsibility do I have? I went straight to my dad and asked my family to come forward and punish Liu Chushan. After all, their Liu family is just a small family and dare not go against our Wang family. Wang Fuga became even more angry and said with gritted teeth, but the sad thing is that my dad and grandfather not only didn't help me, but instead spoke for Liu Chushan and even beat me up. Asking me to treat Liu Chushan well, my mom and grandma are even more outrageous. They drag Liu Chushan shopping all day long, calling her daughter-in-law, granddaughter-in-law. Liu Chushan, that woman, doesn't object, she even accepts it with pleasure, looking quite happy. She's happy, but I'm heartbroken. At the end, Wang Fuga wiped his tears and cried, Young Master Su, I'm so heartbroken. You're my best brother, you must stand up for me. Su Yang finally understood. He already knew about Liu Chushan's situation, but he hadn't expected her to be so bold as to go straight to Wang Fuga's house. It seems love can be blinding. Liu Chushan had already set her heart on Wang Fuga, so she went straight to meet his parents. The Wang family, knowing Liu Chushan's exceptional talent and a young master of the ancient martial arts technique, had a promising future. They were definitely willing to facilitate her marriage. Consequently, everyone in the Wang family treated Liu Chushan with exceptional kindness, treating her like one of their own. Young Master Wang, I can't interfere in your affairs with Liu Chushan. After all, it's a private matter between you two. At this point, Su Yang smiled and said, so, I can't help you. No, young Master Su, you're the only one who can help me. I don't want to date a barbaric woman, let alone marry her. Wang Fuga looked at Su Yang with pleading eyes and promised, young Master Su, if you can help me solve this problem, I'll stake out a club for you every day. As soon as a new beautiful technician arrives, I'll call you immediately and arrange everything for you so you can enjoy her. Okay, Wang Fuga, you've done this kind of thing before, haven't you? Li Fixun, who was standing next to him, smiled. Ah, Sister Fixun, I almost forgot you were here. I was just joking, Wang Fuga hurriedly explained. Li Fixun smiled, not angry, and didn't continue the conversation. Fuck, Sister Fixun, you don't really believe I was joking, do you? Wang Fuga couldn't help but ask. What do you think? I'm not stupid, then why aren't you angry? Would anger help? Li Fixun smoothed her hair back and smiled. I've known Su Yang for a long time. It's just a high-end club, so let's go. As expected of a sister-in-law, so generous, Wang Fuga couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Alright, Su Yang felt a little uncomfortable. He didn't want to continue the conversation, so he said, young Master Wang, get up. Sit down and have some milk tea. We can discuss and solve anything later. Okay, Wang Fuga agreed, supporting himself with his hands and struggling to stand. I've been kneeling for over 10 minutes, and it's finally over. It hurts so much, my legs are numb. Who told you to get up? Just then, Liu Chushan, wearing a white tracksuit, walked in, holding a plastic bag filled with pain-reducing medication. Seeing Wang Fuge stand up, Liu Chushan's face darkened and she coldly said, "Kneel down." Plop. Upon hearing this, Wang Fuge didn't hesitate for a second and knelt directly on the durian, pinching his ears with both hands, obviously very afraid of Liu Chushan. "Wang Fuge, I didn't ask you to get up, but you kept kneeling." Liu Chushan raised the plastic bag in her hand, her eyes full of concern, and said, "Here are some medicine to reduce swelling and relieve pain. The punishment is over, I will apply it to you myself." "Liu Chushan, you punished me to kneel on the durian and bought me painkillers. Don't be so hypocritical, I don't need them," Wang Fuge said, gritting his teeth. "Huh?" Liu Chushan frowned and said in a deep voice, "Wang Fuge, what did you say? Say it again." Wang Fuge panicked for a moment, hurriedly squeezed out a far-fetched smile, and changed the subject. "Zio Xiantian, I said you prepared medicine for me. How thoughtful of you. You are so kind to me." Chapter 160 Going to the club and being caught. Seeing Liu Chushan's outburst, Wang Fuge immediately backed down. Just moments ago, he was filled with righteous indignation and unyielding, but now he was wearing a flattering smile. "That's more like it." Liu Chushan's anger immediately subsided when she heard Wang Fuge's flattering words, and she even felt a little shy. Su Yang and Li Fixun, standing nearby, were stunned and fell silent. "You're still playing like this?" Wang Fuge's expression changed so quickly. "And Liu Chushan, what's wrong? Can't you tell that Wang Fuge is just being polite? Are you shy at all?" Former, young Master Su. At this time, Liu Chushan discovered Su Yang. She wanted to call him senior, but then she changed her mind when she remembered what Su Yang had arranged before. Then she looked at Li Fixun next to her and whispered, "This is, hello, Liu Chushan, I'm Li Fixun." Li Fixun smiled lightly and said, "We should have played together when we were young, but it's been so long that I don't remember." "You are Sister Fixun," Liu Chushan said with a smile. "Indeed, I didn't recognize you, but I remember everything about our childhood. We played house together." "Yeah," Li Fixun smiled, and then asked curiously, "Sister Chushan, what's the matter with Wang Fuge? Why did you punish him to kneel on a durian?" "Don't mention it. This guy went to the club to spend the night last night, and I found out." Liu Chushan glanced at Wang Fuge, gritted her teeth, and said angrily, "You restless thing. You have a girlfriend and still go to the club. It's so hateful." "Sister Chushan, don't be angry. Don't punish yourself for his mistakes. It's not worth it to hurt your body." Li Fixun smiled and comforted, "Let Wang Fuge get up quickly. He has been kneeling for a long time and his knees are injured. He deserves it." Liu Chushan said hatefully, "When he went to the club to find a female technician, he should have thought about his end. I really can't think of it." When Wang Fuge heard this, he looked at Liu Chushan and interrupted, "I'm still very curious. How did you know that I went to the club, and you could accurately know which box I was in?" "Uncle Wang told me." Liu Chushan did not hide it. "My dad?" "Yes," Liu Chushan continued, "Uncle Wang also told me to discipline you properly. Wang Fuge, just accept your fate. You'll never escape my clutches in this life, damn it. Even a tiger won't eat its own cubs. My dad actually betrayed me. How can we still be good fathers and sons?" Wang Fuge said sadly, "Young Master Su, I was betrayed by my own dad. This is fucking awful. Who can I turn to for justice?" As he spoke, Wang Fuge seemed to think of his own future fate and squeezed out 2 tears. "Sister Chushan, look at how much you've pushed Wang Fuge. Get him up now," Li Fixun said again. "No," Liu Chushan insisted, "I'm going to make him kneel for 2 hours. It's only been a while. He has to kneel for the full 2 hours so he'll learn his lesson." Li Fixun gave a wry smile and tugged at Su Yang's clothes, trying to get him to help Wang Fuge. "Leave it to me," Su Yang smiled, then looked at Liu Chushan and said calmly, "Liu Chushan, you and Fixun haven't seen each other in ages. Let's go shopping together and have some private conversation. Let's forget about Wang Fuge this time. Give him a chance to reform." "Yes," Liu Chushan respectfully agreed without a word of rebuttal. "Let's go, Sister Chushan. Zheng Bei has changed a lot in recent years. I'll take you for a walk," Li Fixun said, taking Liu Chushan's arm. Yes, just like that, Li Fixun and Liu Chushan left the milk tea shop together. Before leaving, she put down the anti-inflammatory and painkiller in her hand, clearly missing Wang Fuge. "Wang Fuge, you can get up now," Su Yang said calmly, kicking Wang Fuge. "Fuck, young Master Su is awesome. He dealt with that savage woman Liu Chushan with just one sentence. Wang Fuge's face was full of admiration. He gritted his teeth and tried to stand up, but his legs were numb. So he said in pain, "Young Master Su, it hurts, give me a hand." Su Yang smiled, then helped Wang Fuge up. "Young Master Wang, your health is too poor. You are obviously drained by alcohol and sex. You can't stand it after kneeling for a while. You should go to the club less in the future." "Fuck, young Master Su, we are the same, don't blame each other," Wang Fuge muttered, then looked at Su Yang curiously, and couldn't help asking, "Young Master Su, tell me quickly, how did you do it, and why did Liu Chushan listen to you so much?" Su Yang turned the stored ring on his right hand and said truthfully, "Because I am better than her, she respects me." "Are you better?" Wang Fuge curled his lips and said, "Stop talking nonsense. We are all playboys, but you are even worse than me. You are the #1 playboy in Jiangbei, and Liu Chushan is a master of Huajin. You are better than her." "What a joke, haha, I'm not like you." Su Yang spread out his palms, condensed a ball of spiritual energy, and said with a playful smile, "Now I am also an ancient martial artist. Did you see that the true energy takes shape? I am already a master of martial arts." "Fuck, are you serious?" Wang Fuge stared at the spiritual energy in Su Yang's hand and said in disbelief. Upon hearing this, Su Yang unleashed a burst of spiritual energy, blasting the half cup of milk tea on the table. A smile rose as he asked, "What do you think?" "Fuck you." Wang Fuge was stunned. "Young Master Su, when did you start practicing? You've become a grandmaster. My grandfather is only at that level, haha, I'm lucky." Su Yang patted Wang Fuge on the shoulder and said, "Young Master Wang, Liu Chushan is actually a very nice girl, and she's very fond of you. If you can win her over, she'll be the perfect partner." "Win her over? Right now, she'll beat me to pulp if we disagree," Wang Fuge said with a scowl. "I can help you become an ancient warrior, but that's like forcing things. The ceiling won't be too high. You're my best friend, and I don't think your ceiling should be limited." Su Yang was silent for a moment, then said, "How about this? Wait a few days, and I'll prepare some things. By then, I can give you the strength to defeat Liu Chushan." "Really?" Wang Fuge exclaimed in delight. "Yet," Su Yang nodded and said, "Leave it to me." With Su Yang's current ability, he could turn Wang Fuge into an ancient martial artist with a wave of his hand. Even if he spent some spiritual energy, he could make Wang Fuge a martial arts master in an instant. However, the ancient martial arts system is relatively rubbish, and there is a ceiling for forcibly improving strength, so this is not the first choice. Su Yang plans to collect some spiritual stones and set up a small magic circle to help Wang Fuge step into the ranks of cultivation. After all, young Master Su only has this one good friend, and he must not treat Wang Fuge badly. "Young Master Su, then my future is in your hands." Wang Fuge gritted his teeth and spit out blood, and said viciously, "Liu Chushan, you stinky bitch, when I am stronger than you, I will do you this, then that, and finally this, to let you know how powerful I am." As Wang Fuge spoke, he gestured, and it seemed that he hated Liu Chushan. Chapter 161 Su Yang, you have to work hard. Next, Su Yang and Wang Fuge sat in the milk tea shop drinking milk tea. After about an hour, Li Fixun and Liu Chushan came back from outside. Among them, Liu Chushan was holding an exquisite shopping bag in her hand, probably to buy clothes. "Wang Fuge, why didn't you use the anti-inflammatory and analgesic medicine I bought for you?" Liu Chushan's eyes fell on Wang Fuge at the first time. "Is it worth your while?" Su Yang was sitting next to him, and Wang Fuge said confidently, "Liu Chushan, don't be too arrogant. 30 years in the East and 30 years in the West. Don't bully the young and poor. Soon I will be able to suppress you under me and torture you severely." "Are you stupid?" Liu Chushan was full of confusion. "You're the stupid one. If you're not stupid, why would you say something like that?" "Haha, I'm too lazy to explain to you." Wang Fuge walked over, completely ignoring Liu Chushan, and directly took the shopping bag from her hand. As he opened it, he said, "Let me see what you bought." Oh, underwear. It's only a B cup, so small. When I, young Master Wang, go to the club, the rigid standard for technicians is see you don't meet the standard." After learning about what Liu Chushan bought, Wang Fuge curled his lips with a sarcastic smile on his face. This made Liu Chushan angry and embarrassed. Her beautiful face flushed instantly. It was unclear whether she was shy or angry. "Young Master Wang, you're going too far," Su Yang reminded her from the side. "What's too much?" young Master Wen continued sarcastically, chuckling, young Master Su, you know more about these things than I do. Bigger is definitely better. Don't think I don't know. You like D, and F you like even more. You really deserve a beating like that. Su Yang's face darkened as he looked at Liu Chushan and said calmly, Liu Chushan, do as you please. Don't control yourself. This guy really needs some discipline. Yes, Liu Chushan nodded. If she hadn't been worried Su Yang would stop her, she would have taught Wang Fuge a lesson. Now with young Master Su's permission, Liu Chushan's expression darkened. She grabbed Wang Fuge's clothes and walked towards the room inside the milk tea shop. Wang Fuge was stunned. He struggled a few times, but to no avail. He swallowed and pleaded fearfully, young Master Su, good brother, save me, only on your own, Su Yang said with a soft laugh. Then, Liu Chushan pulled Wang Fuge inside, and his miserable cries were heard from inside. Liu Chushan, Zio Xianshan, big sister, I was wrong. Please don't hit me, okay, I didn't mean to tease you. I actually like smaller ones. The vagina is just the right size, so one hand can hold it. Fuck, Liu Chushan, don't think I'm really afraid of you. Don't blame me for not warning you. In a few days, I'll be stronger than you. Be nice to me, or I won't show any mercy. Falling in love is so painful. Su Yang and Li Fixun didn't stop at the milk tea shop. After buying milk tea, they left. A few minutes later, they returned to the car. Su Yang sat in the driver's seat, Li Fixun in the passenger seat. Wife, at this moment, Su Yang looked at Li Fixun and asked curiously, I go to the club often. Are you really not angry? I am, Li Fixun said. Then why don't you show it? Su Yang's curiosity deepened. I have to save face for you in front of outsiders, otherwise it would seem that I am ignorant of the overall situation. Li Fixun met Su Yang's gaze, gathered her hair, and said seriously, also, I will only be a little angry, and I won't care too much. I know what kind of man you are. You can play outside, but you must know the limits, Li Fixun added. I know you have me in your heart, and that's enough. Like I said before, no matter how many women you have, I must be the most important one in your heart. Wife, are you so open-minded and generous? Su Yang said with a smile. Yet, Li Fixun said seriously, Su Yang, I'm not kidding you. A truly outstanding man is inevitably surrounded by the opposite sex, and there are countless people throwing themselves at him. Li Fixun, don't look down on ordinary men. You are the man I like, and you must be the best among the best. I have chosen you and I have already prepared myself mentally, Li Fixun continued, even if you have 10 or 100 women, I don't care, because this only proves that I didn't make a mistake. Since some things are destined to be unchangeable, why should I control you, make you unhappy, and make myself unhappy? Li Fixun was very open-minded and smiled. Su Yang, you have to work hard, try to attract more women, and prove that my vision is not wrong. Wife, you are really a sensible woman. Su Yang couldn't help but praise him, and he admired Li Fixun more and more. But then he promised, but don't worry, I'm not the kind of promiscuous man. I will only marry you in this life. Che, come on. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang, then said, I'd rather you find me a few more sisters, so I can experience what it's like to be the mistress of the harem. Haha, honey, that's a great idea. But, like on TV, to be the mistress of the harem, you have to have children. Without a crown prince, you can't sit securely on the throne of queen. Su Yang looked at Li Fixun and said with a playful smile, how about, honey, I'll have a child with you first. Only the eldest son of the wife can be crown prince. You, shameless, thinking about those rubbish. Li Fixun's face flushed instantly. Hey, come on, it's more exciting in the car. You're wearing a skirt, so you don't even have to take off your clothes. It's very convenient, Su Yang grinned, pressing against Li Fixun. No, get out of the way. Li Fixun dodged for a moment, then whispered, I'm not feeling well today. Don't force it. Wait a little longer, we can do it in a few days. Feeling ill? Su Yang understood immediately, and smiled softly. Don't be afraid, honey. I'm just hugging you, nothing else. That, okay. Li Fixun didn't refuse, agreeing and letting Su Yang hold her. But gradually, she noticed that Su Yang's hands were becoming rather unruly, so she gritted her teeth and said, Su Yang, please stop touching me, honey, I'm just touching your neck, nothing else, just your neck. Why are you moving down? I just wanted to feel your collarbone, nothing else. Is that a collarbone? You're putting your hand under my clothes. Oh, honey, it was a complete accident. My hand lost control. It has its own mind. Be prepared, Su Yang, don't. Inside the Ferrari, a nearly enclosed space, Su Yang and Li Fixun embraced each other tightly, the hormones of a young man and woman clashing fiercely. Meanwhile, at the entrance to the special passage at the Juman Black Market, a graceful woman stood proudly. She wore a white dress and a purple butterfly mask, obscuring her features. Next to the woman was a little girl, about 4 years old. Her features were delicate, a perfect match for a beauty. At that moment, the two guards from the Nine Gates Black Market, Liu Wei and Wang Sui, both half knelt on the ground, clasping their hands and saying, "My subordinate is Liu Wei, my subordinate is Wang Sui, greetings, leader." Chapter 162 Jin Shangsu and Su Yaoyao. Leader. This woman in a white dress, wearing a purple butterfly mask and holding a little girl by her right hand, was the leader of the Nine Gates Black Market. Her power was immense, awe-inspiring throughout the ancient martial arts world. Her chilling innate energy could melt the air into snow, sending flakes cascading down with each strike. Snowflakes appeared from thin air, scattering murderous intent all around. Often, her opponents were dead before they could react, their bodies covered in snow. Therefore, the leader of the Nine Gates Black Market earned a title in the ancient martial arts world, Qian Shangsu. Her decisiveness and order were as cold as a snowy mountain, and her attacks were merciless. At this moment, Qian Shangsu merely glanced at Liu Wei and Wang Sui before looking away. Without asking them to stand, she said calmly, "Su Xuantian, is it true, as you say, that at just over 20 years old, he's already reached the half-step Earth sect?" Qian Shangsu's aura was so cold that the air around them seemed frozen. Even Liu Wei and Wang Sui, at the peak of religion, would shiver in fear before Qian Shangsu, afraid to lift their heads. After a pause of several seconds, Liu Wei spoke, "Alliance Master, my strength is weak, and my vision is even more limited. I can't tell young Master Su's realm, but young Master Su was able to fight Jeping, who was at the half-step Earth sect level, to a close draw, and even ultimately killed him. This shows that young Master Su must be a master of this realm," Liu Wei said respectfully. "Yes," Jin Shangsu nodded slightly surprised. Looking at the ancient martial arts world, there are only a handful of peak grandmasters under the age of 30. I didn't expect that in such a small place like Jiangbei, there would be a half-step Earth sect in his 20s. "Do you know if Su Xuantian has any sect?" Jin Shangsu asked. "I didn't dare ask further, but young Master Su has her life-saving talisman passed down from ancient times, so he must have a master," Liu Wei replied. Jin Shangsu frowned. "Ancient talismans? Yes, Mr. Su is young after all, and his real combat power is not as good as Jeping. He used the talisman explosion to severely injure Jeping and was able to kill him. A talisman that can kill a half-step Earth sect is nothing among the ancient talismans, but very few ancient talismans have been preserved, and only the strongest and most prosperous ancient martial arts sects possess them. In addition, he has a pet drug with him, and its combat power is not weak. It must have been raised using ancient methods, which requires a large amount of natural materials and treasures to cultivate," Jin Shangsu analyzed. "It seems that Su Xuantian is likely from a powerful sect, however, this does not affect our Nine Gates Alliance from being on good terms with him. When he really grows up, he can be regarded as a powerful foreign aid for the Nine Gates Black Market." Having said that, Jin Shangsu asked lightly, "Do you know the whereabouts of Su Xuantian?" "I don't know," Liu Wei shook his head and said, "Young Master Su is elusive and extremely mysterious. He never mentions his master or his residence, and I dare not ask, but he needs the energy stone. I've already told him that you will come to see him in person with the energy stone," Liu Wei suggested. "Spread the news of your visit to Jiangbei, and young Master Su will definitely come to the Nine Gates Black Market." "No need," Jin Shangsu said coldly. "I came to Jiangbei and hid my whereabouts. No one knows I'm there. You two, keep it secret. Otherwise, I will kill you." "Yes," Liu Wei and Wang Sui were startled and responded in unison. "Yes," Jin Shangsu nodded in satisfaction, then said calmly, "As for Su Xuantian, the next time he comes to the Nine Gates Black Market, just tell me. I'll be in Jiangbei during this time." "Yes, alright, you guys go and get busy." Jin Shangsu said this and left the Nine Gates Black Market with the little girl. "Mom, didn't you say you'd see Dad when we got to Jiangbei?" "Where's Dad?" Su Yaoyao When has mom ever lied to you? But you have to be prepared. Your dad might not be as powerful as you think. He's just an ordinary person. To be more precise, your dad is even worse than an ordinary person. He's a super playboy. What does super playboy mean? Yow, don't you know, super playboy means your dad is useless. He doesn't know anything except eating, drinking, and having fun. He doesn't know martial arts and can't protect you. Oh, Mom, don't you dare say that about my dad. If you say that again, I'll be angry. Yow is very powerful now. It doesn't matter if dad is a little useless. Yow can protect him, just be prepared. I'll arrange for you to meet him as soon as possible. I hope you won't be too disappointed when you see him. Jin Shangsu and the little lolly walked away, still talking. Liu Wei and Wang Sai didn't dare look up from beginning to end. They didn't dare to stand until Jin Shangsu and Su Yaoyao were gone for a long time. Now, Liu Wei and Wang Sai looked at the 2 rows of footprints on the ground, frost-covered, and swallowed in fear. Alliance leader, you're so strong, Liu Wei said in awe. Of course. The Alliance leader is incredibly talented. 3 years ago, at the ancient martial arts competition, she went on a killing spree, defeating every young talent. Even the prodigy from the Fengshan area fell to the Alliance leader. Wang Sai, standing beside him, was equally awed. He said, back then, the Alliance leader's strength rivaled that of the veterans of the ancient martial arts world. 2 years later, some in the ancient martial arts world say the Alliance leader has taken that leap, becoming the strongest at the pinnacle of ancient martial arts. Liu Wei said respectfully, how old is the Alliance leader? Only in her 20s, probably. Incredible. Compared to the Alliance leader, young Master Su pales in comparison. Okay, Liu Wei, I'll take note of that. When I see young Master Su, I'll tell him what you said, Wang Sai suddenly said, as if he had caught Liu Wei. Liu Wei's face darkened instantly, and he gritted his teeth. Wang Sai, are you shameless? You've thrown away all those years of brotherhood just to get young Master Su to help you improve your strength? Haha, compared to reaching Grandmaster status, brotherhood is nothing, Wang Sai said casually. Damn it, Wang Sai, you've been antsy for a few days, huh? I'm going to kill you today, Liu Wei gritted his teeth. Stop it. I don't want to argue with you. We're all men, it's not a good influence, fuck you. The two had a good relationship and had often clashed, so they were used to it. They immediately started fighting. At this moment, Zhengbei Domestic Airport was completely blocked. Thousands of uniformed soldiers, fully armed, each with a stern expression, moved in unison. Outside the airport, dozens of fighter jets circled, monitoring the surroundings. Ordinary passengers were not allowed to approach the airport. A massive event. For Zhengbei, this was an unprecedented event. Although the airport was blocked and all flights were delayed, not a single citizen outside complained. In fact, more citizens, some holding flowers and some holding banners, stood outside the airport waiting for their flights. Gradually, tens of thousands of people blocked the airport. They were men and women, young and old, but without exception, they were all Chinese citizens. Suddenly, rain began to fall in Zhengbei, mixed with a cold wind. The autumn wind had already brought a chill, but none of these people left. Because the person they were waiting for was the god of war of giants. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163. Have you had enough fun? The war god of Xian has really come to Zhengbei. Haha. Everyone says he's tall and mighty. I'm so excited, the rain's getting heavier. Aren't you guys leaving? He slew 120,000 enemy troops in one fell swoop, keeping them out of southern Xinjiang. The war god of Xian is a national treasure. Let alone rain, even if it's hail. I want to witness the war god of Xian's splendor with my own eyes. Yeah, just thinking about it makes me excited. Today I finally get to see my idol. Outside the airport, many citizens weren't deterred by the heavy rain. Instead, they were excited and even more excited. And so, under the gaze of the crowd, a tall, middle-aged man slowly emerged from the airport. He was about 1.9 meters tall, in his 40s, imposing, with a pair of piercing, tiger-like eyes that gave off a strong, oppressive aura. This man was the war god of Tianzhou, Zhao Tianzhou, who once slew 120,000 enemy troops. He exuded a naturally cultivated murderous aura, awe-inspiring even without anger. Behind Zhao Tianzhou, over 30 elite soldiers and generals followed closely, each one a top-notch expert. As the group exited the airport, the atmosphere erupted in excitement. I've seen the Giant's god of war on TV before, and today I finally see him in person. They say men decline after 30, but the Giant's god of war is over 40 and still as vigorous as ever, of course. The Giant's god of war is no ordinary person. Even if Lian Po were old and still able to eat, even at Lian Po's age, the Giant's god of war would still be able to wield his weapons and protect the land of China. We still have 9 similar gods of war in China. Our country is strong and powerful. Zhao Giants made a brief appearance before leaving the airport through a special passage, surrounded by elite soldiers. Not long after, he found himself in the back seat of a moving jeep. Zhao Giants spoke calmly, "Have you arranged the welcome banquet? We've already notified everyone. All the Jiangbei families will send representatives to the Junmanlu Hotel tonight for your welcome banquet," his subordinate said respectfully. "There's no need to notify the Su family," Zhao Giants said. "I was brought up by Commander Su. He will always be Commander Su in my heart. Now that I've arrived in Jiangbei, it's my responsibility to visit him. I'm not entitled to a welcome, Commander Su, that is, Su Xianbing." Zhao Giants' eyes filled with nostalgia and respect when he mentioned Su Xianbing. Even now, in his high position, he dared not show the slightest disrespect to the former Commander Su. "Yes," the subordinate replied. "I know your relationship with Commander Su, so I sent someone to notify him in advance. Tell him you'll see him when you're done." "Yes," Zhao Giants nodded in satisfaction. "General Zhao?" At this time, the subordinate next to him asked curiously, "From what I know about you, you don't like ostentation. Why did you come to Jiangbei with such fanfare this time and arrange a grand reception in Jiangbei?" "You don't know," Zhao Xian said lightly. "I came to Jiangbei this time to find Su Xuantian and win over this young Dizan who is favored by Prince Ping. As for the second purpose, it is to protect the Su family," Zhao Xian continued. "I got news that a female war goddess performed so well in Dongjiang that she attracted the attention of Country D. The news of the female war goddess Su Jingguo from the Jiangbei Su family has spread like wildfire. It is well known that Su Jingguo dotes on her younger brother Su Yang and indulges him in every way. Therefore, Country D will take action against Su Yang in the near future, intending to disturb the female war goddess's state of mind." Zhao Xian's eyes were like torches, and he said lightly, "The reason why I made a high-profile appearance is to deter Country D and make them give up the idea of assassinating Su Yang." "I see." The subordinate suddenly realized something and continued, "I've heard a little about Su Yang. They say he's a complete dandy, uneducated, and unskillful." "Shut up," Zhao Xian, enraged, said in a deep voice, "Commander Su's son is no place for us to judge. Don't do it again, or I'll never forgive you." "Yes," the subordinate hurriedly lowered his head, not daring to say another word. Commander Su, it's been over a decade. How are you?" Zhao Xian gazed out the window, a wry smile on his face, and muttered to himself, "Everyone thinks I was responsible for the massacre of 120,000 enemy soldiers back then, but they don't know I'm not even halfway qualified for that honor." Meanwhile, at a martial arts gym in Jiangbei, an elderly man in black suddenly appeared, bringing everyone to their knees. The man, over 70 years old, wore wooden clogs and a samurai sword slung across his waist. His face was covered in white stubble, and his eyes were bright, gleaming, and filled with a fierce gleam, completely unlike the expression expected of an old man of his age. "Welcome, Senior Ito," everyone in the martial arts gym, including the owner, shouted in unison, full of respect. This man, over 70 years old, was the master sent by Country D to deal with Su Xuantian. Iro, a true Earth sect expert. "Everyone, get up." Iro, hunched over, looked weak, but his voice was full of energy. He asked, "Any information about Su Xuantian's whereabouts?" "We're still investigating," the owner replied respectfully. "Well, if you have any news about Su Xuantian, notify me immediately," Ito said coldly. "This man killed 80,000 of our soldiers. His methods were brutal, and he must pay a heavy price." "Yes, Su Xuantian, a half-step Earth sect master, haha, he is indeed a rare genius." A smile appeared on Ito's old face, and he continued, "But unfortunately, your next opponent is me, In my early years, I had already set foot in the true Earth sect and comprehended the essence of the one-sword style. Killing you is a piece of cake, Ito muttered to himself, and then asked, do you know where the Red Lotus Demon Sword and the Taizhang Demon Sword are? I heard that these two swords appeared in Jiangbei. The Red Lotus Sword seems to have been taken back to Kyoto by Gu Oren. As for the Taizhang Demon Sword, it appeared on the Juman black market and was bought by Liu Fengke. Later, his whereabouts are unknown. Along with Liu Fengke, the gym owner seemed to have a thought and said, Senior Ito, at the Nine Gates black market auction, Su Xuantian competed with Liu Fengke. Could he have killed Liu Fengke and stolen the Taizhang demonic blade? That's possible. Ito narrowed his eyes and smirked. That's perfect. Killing Su Xuantian kills two birds with one stone. Go investigate Su Xuantian's whereabouts. Find him as soon as possible. No mistakes. Yes, the gym owner agreed in order. Su Xuantian, I hope you're stronger and don't let me kill you instantly. Otherwise, I'll be very disappointed. Ito smiled softly, and his clogs clattered against the floor as he entered the room the gym owner had arranged for him. Now, Su Yang and Li Fixun had been sitting in the Ferrari parked on the side of the road for almost half an hour. With the exception of the last step, everything that needed to be done had been done. Chapter 164 Uncle, my name is Su Yaoyao. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang, then said uncomfortably, alright, Su Yang, stop playing around. I'm feeling a bit queasy in my stomach. What's going on? Su Yang pulled his hand back, asking with concern. My relatives are here. Li Fixun glanced at Su Yang, then said, it's getting late, Su Yang. I should go to Fengmeo building. My dance training class has been incredibly popular these past 2 days, with thousands of applicants. Congratulations, Su Yang smiled, then asked, are all the applicants male or female? Both male and female. What's wrong? Fuck you, wife, you can't accept male students. Those men who sign up for dance classes definitely have bad intentions. Su Yang gritted his teeth. Li Fixun smoothed her hair back from her forehead and nodded, yeah, I know, that's why I only accept female students, haha, that's what a good wife of mine is, Su Yang said with a smile. Tisk, who's your wife? Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and said, will you pick me up at Fengmeo building tonight? No, I don't have time, Su Yang smiled and said, I won't be available for the next week. Contact me again in a week. A week? What are you going to do? Li Fixun couldn't help but ask. Nowhere. I'll stay home. I'll catch up with you after your relatives leave. Su Yang raised an eyebrow and said, otherwise, what's the point of us meeting? Su Yang, you're so fussy. Li Fixun glared at Su Yang angrily, then smiled playfully, but who told me it would take a week for the relatives to leave? Don't you know that many girls' relatives leave in 3 or 4 days? Really, honey? Which day are you leaving? Su Yang asked hurriedly. The 7th day. Hearing Li Fixun's answer, Su Yang's face darkened. That still takes a week, honey. You're talking nonsense. Call me again in a week, but today is the 7th day, Li Fixun suddenly added. Honey, I think it's better for us to see each other every day. Relationships are cultivated little by little, Su Yang said seriously, I'll pick you up tonight and book a room tomorrow. Let's cultivate our relationship, you're so shameless, Li Fixun said with a pout. Haha. Su Yang smiled, then drove Li Fixun to Fengmeo building in his Ferrari. After saying goodbye to his wife, Su Yang checked the time. He still had a few hours before picking her up, so he drove back to his riverside villa. Originally, Su Yang had planned to give the white cat to Li Fixun, a decision he had made earlier to protect her. However, the white cat was cultivating in his storage ring, so Su Yang temporarily abandoned the idea, planning to arrange a meeting between his wife and the white cat another time. Meanwhile, Su Yang entered his room and sat cross-legged in meditation. After the battle in Dongjiang, his strength had skyrocketed, and he had already reached the 5th level of key training. In just over 10 days, he had advanced all the way from the 1st to the 5th level of key training. If he continued at this pace, he should be able to establish his foundation within a month. By then, he'd have no problem dominating the ancient martial arts world. The ancient martial arts system was, after all, too low-end. Su Yang could defeat ancient martial arts masters who had practiced for decades in just a dozen days. This was entirely due to the power of cultivation. So, even though he could have instantly transformed Wang Fuge into an ancient martial artist, Su Yang chose not to. Spiritual energy. I still need spiritual energy. I guess I need to find a way to get a large quantity of energy stones as soon as possible. Speaking of energy stones, Su Yang suddenly thought of the Nine Gates black market and muttered, I wonder when their leader will come to Jiangbei and how many energy stones he's prepared for me. I'll have to go to the Nine Gates black market in a couple of days to urge him. For now, I'll just consolidate my realm. Relying solely on spiritual energy from the air isn't realistic. With this thought in mind, Su Yang began to practice the 9-nether prison suppression technique. But then, his phone suddenly rang. It was a text message from his sister, Su Jingguo. Little brother, my last text was just a joke. Don't worry, wait for me at home. I'm in Kyoto now and will be back after I finish some things. After reading the text, Su Yang smiled but didn't reply. Instead, he entered a state of cultivation. His sister was safe, so there was no need to worry. Besides, he would see her again in a few days anyway. The most urgent task now was to work hard to improve his own strength. After talking with his father today, Su Yang realized that the Su family's enemies were powerful and that he couldn't currently withstand them. In such a situation, only cultivation could bring him true peace. Before he knew it, night fell. Su Yang checked the time and decided it was almost time, so he drove his Ferrari to Fengmao Building to pick up Li Fixun. Arriving at Fengmao Building, Su Yang called Li Fixun. Li Fixun had finished her work and told him to wait at the place where they had parted that afternoon. A few minutes later, Li Fixun approached, but she was holding a little girl, about 4 years old, in her right hand. Honey, who is this little girl? She's so beautiful. Is she one of your relatives? Su Yang asked with a smile. No, she is a student in my training class and signed up to learn dance. Li Fixun shook her head at first, then explained, but I didn't see her parents until the end of get out of class. I can't leave such a young child in the dance studio, so I brought her down. Let's wait here for a while, maybe her mother will come to pick her up soon, Li Fixun suggested. Yes, Su Yang nodded, and then began to look at the little girl in front of him. The more he looked, the cuter she seemed. And for some reason, he had an inexplicable sense of familiarity with this little girl. At this time, the little girl met Su Yang's gaze, her eyes curved into crescent shapes, and she smiled sweetly and said, Hello uncle, my name is Su Yao. Chapter 165 Can I call you Dad? Hello, uncle. My name is Su Yao. The little girl's voice was incredibly sweet, soft and tender, and her adorable face made her so endearing. At that moment, Su Yang's heart melted. He couldn't help but touch the little girl's head and smiled gently. Hello, little friend. What a coincidence. My last name is Su, too. We share the same surname. Yes, I know. Your name is Su Yang, Su Yao said with a smile. Su Yang was quite surprised and asked, How did you know my name? Su Yao's eyes curved into crescents, clearly hiding something. Then, pointing to Li Fixun beside her, she smiled sweetly. Teacher Li told me, so that's how it is. Su Yang, having seen countless people, naturally caught a glimpse of something strange in the little girl's eyes. Furthermore, ever since he met her, he had felt a sense of familiarity, as if they were blood relatives. But Su Yang searched through young Master Su's memories and found nothing about her. In other words, young Master Su didn't recognize this little girl named Su Yao. Perhaps it was just an illusion. Su Yang smiled, then squatted down and asked softly, Su Yao, little girl, do you know where your mom is? Mom had something urgent to do and went to work, Su Yao replied in a baby voice. Do you know her contact information, like her phone number? Su Yang pressed. I don't know, Su Yao continued. Mom asked me to take dance lessons with Teacher Li. She'll come pick me up when she's done, but it's late now, and your mom hasn't come yet. Where are you going to sleep tonight? Su Yang's voice remained gentle. He still had a soft spot for this little girl, he found her so adorable, and his fatherly love overflowed. I don't know either, Su Yao said, then suddenly burst into tears, piteously saying, Uncle, doesn't mom want me anymore? How could that be, Yao? Don't let your imagination run wild. Su Yang, somewhat at a loss, quickly comforted her. Your mom must be busy. Let me take you to the police and ask them to help find your mom. No, I'm scared, Su Yao cried, throwing herself into Su Yang's arms. Su Yang picked up Su Yao. Seeing the little girl's face full of grievance, his heart broke. For a moment, he was at a loss, and cast a pleading look at Li Fixun. Su Yang, Li Fixun, who had just been checking her phone, said, Su Yao's mother sent me a message. She said she's out of town and won't be back for about a week. She asked me to take care of Su Yao in the meantime and even transferred some money to me. It seems her mother is really busy. Su Yang looked at Li Fixun and asked curiously, have you met her mother? Are you familiar with her? No, I don't even know her mother's name. Li Fixun shook her head. If that's the case, why did her mother feel so confident in entrusting her daughter to you? Su Yang was even more puzzled. I find it strange too. Maybe they think I look kind, Li Fixun said narcissistically. After all, some things are innate. Unlike you, you look like a dandy young master. Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose, then smiled bitterly. Wife, what should we do now? What else can we do? I'm not at ease sending such a young girl to the police station. Li Fixun looked at Su Yao. The more she looked, the more she liked her. Her maternal love overflowed, and she smiled softly. Anyway, her mother will be back in a week, so it's no problem for me to take care of her for a few days. Yet, Su Yang nodded and said, Wife, you are so loving. After your relatives leave, I will definitely fulfill your dream of becoming a mother. I believe you will be a good mother. You're going to die. Don't say this in front of the child. Li Fixun glared at Su Yang, then looked at Su Yao, clapped her hands and smiled. Yao, your mother asked me to take care of you. Can Teacher Li hold you in his arms to sleep for the next week? No. Unexpectedly, Su Yao tightly embraced Su Yang's neck, pressing her body against him. She firmly declared, I want to be with Uncle Su Yang. I just want him to take care of me. Li Fixun stretched out her arms, ready to embrace Su Yao, but her reaction embarrassed her. Honey, I think you're right. Some things are innate. It seems I'm more approachable and more friendly than you. Su Yang chuckled softly. Li Fixun, unconvinced, smiled gently. Yao, Teacher Li has lots of delicious food at home, including Princess Elsa's clothes. Would you like to go home with Teacher Li? I don't want any. Su Yao flatly refused. You don't even want Princess Elsa's clothes? I see so many little girls love them. Wearing them would turn you into Princess Elsa. Li Fixun continued to tempt Su Yao. Su Yao pouted, I don't like Princess Elsa. My mother is much prettier than Princess Elsa. Then Teacher Li will buy you whatever you want. Li Fixun continued. I don't want anything. I just want to go home with Uncle Su Yang. Su Yu said stubbornly. But Uncle Su Yang is a boy. It's not convenient for him to take care of you. Think about it, who'll help you bathe and hold you to sleep? Li Fixun persuaded, if you like Uncle Su Yang, I can take you to see him tomorrow. Teacher Li will take care of you tonight. Teacher Li, you have such dirty thoughts? I'm still a child. Why can't Uncle Su Yang help me bathe and hold me to sleep? Su Yu pouted. These words made Li Fixun even more embarrassed, but after thinking about it, it was indeed her fault. The child was right. Wife, how about this? I'll take her back to the riverside villa tonight and arrange for a nanny to take care of her daily needs. Su Yang smiled softly. I like this child too. She feels so familiar. Li Fixun didn't insist, nodding, that's fine. But, Su Yang, you must pay more attention to her and keep an eye on Yao. Don't let her get sick. It's not good if she gets hurt, otherwise I won't be able to report to her mother. Okay, leave it to me, Su Yang agreed. Upon hearing their decision, Su Yao, who was leaning on Su Yang's shoulder, smiled triumphantly. Then, Su Yang drove Li Fixun back to the Li family estate and drove Su Yao to the riverside villa. Wow, Uncle Su Yang, such a big house, you live alone. Su Yao happily spun around in the living room, as happy as an elf. Yet, Su Yang smiled and said, but, for the next week, it's just the two of us living together. La la la, that's great. Su Yao bounced excitedly on the spot, her two pigtails swinging back and forth, looking so cute. But then, she suddenly remembered something and cried out of grievance. Seeing the little lolly crying, Su Yang's heart was torn. He hurried over and asked with concern, Yao, what's wrong with you? I grew up with my mother since I was a child. Before today, I had never seen my father. Other children have fathers, but I don't. I'm so pitiful. Su Yao wiped her tears, looked at Su Yang, and pleaded pitifully, Uncle Su Yang, can I call you Dad? Chapter 166. Is this really my daughter? Su Yang was stunned for a moment, then wiped away the tears from Su Yao's eyes. He gently stroked her head and said tenderly, Yao, don't cry. You're so adorable. You won't be pretty if you cry anymore. Call me Daddy if you want. Yeah, Su Yaoyao choked a few times, then raised her head, meeting Su Yang's gaze and calling out with genuine emotion, "Dad? Daddy." "Yeah." Su Yang smiled and agreed, with remarkable ease, as if he'd always agreed. "Dad? Yeah, Dad, yeah, ha ha ha, my Su Yaoyao has a daddy, yeah. Su Yaoyao burst into joy again, jumping up and down like a little elf. Su Yang was standing nearby, his face full of kindness as he watched Su Yaoyao unleash her true nature, overflowing with fatherly love. He couldn't help but sigh, how wonderful it would be if I really had a girl like her. After nearly 100,000 years of cultivation, Su Yang had always been alone. Hearing such a lovely little girl call him daddy, he began to yearn. After Su Yaoyao was tired of tossing and turning, she hugged Su Yang's thighs tightly and said in a baby voice, "Uncle Su Yang, can I call you Dad all the time in the next few days?" Of course. Su Yang squatted down and couldn't help rubbing Su Yaoyao's little head. He then asked curiously, "Yaoyao, you just said that you grew up with your mother since you were a child, so where did your father go?" "My dad." Hearing this, Su Yaoyao felt a little depressed and whispered, "My mother hid a lot of things from me and refused to tell me, but I know them all. Actually, I'm just an accident. My mother got pregnant with me accidentally, and then she separated from my father and raised me alone, so I haven't seen my father." After hearing this, Su Yang continued to ask, "Is your father dead?" "No." Su Yaoyao looked at Su Yang and smiled softly, "He's alive and well, huh? I thought he was dead." "Since he's not dead, why don't you take on the responsibility of being a father and let a woman raise the child alone?" Su Yang was extremely angry when he heard this, and gritted his teeth and said, "This kind of man is simply a scum. He'd rather be dead than alive." "Don't say that about my dad." Su Yaoyao looked at Su Yang, wanting to say something but stopping herself, and then explained, "My dad didn't even know that my mom gave birth to me, so he didn't care." "Okay, Yaoyao, I know you miss your dad in your heart, so I won't scold you." Su Yang took Su Yaoyao's hand, and then said, "I can't guarantee anything else, but, Yaoyao, as long as you are with me for one day, I will take care of you wholeheartedly, not let anyone bully you, and let you know what it feels like to have a dad who loves you." "Thank you, Dad Su." Su Yaoyao was so moved that tears came out of her eyes. She timidly asked, "Dad Su, can I call me your daughter?" "Okay." Su Yang looked down at Su Yaoyao and called her gently, "My dear daughter." "Yeah, Dad Su." Su Yaoyao hugged Su Yang tightly. At this moment, she was very satisfied. Su Yang picked up Su Yaoyao and smiled gently. "Okay, Yaoyao, it's getting late, you should rest." "It's late now, I'll ask the nanny to come tomorrow." "You don't need to take a shower tonight, just go to bed." Su Yang then asked, "There are rooms on the second and third floors, Yaoyao, where are you going to sleep?" "Dad Su, can I sleep with you?" Su Yaoyao said with a pleading face. "No," Su Yang said seriously, "Yaoyao, you're a girl. You should keep your distance from boys." "Okay." Su Yaoyao's eyes curved into crescents, but she agreed on the surface. "Okay, Yaoyao, I understand." "Yeah." Su Yang nodded and smiled. "I live on the third floor. There's an empty room next to yours. You can stay next door. Call me if you need anything, so I can take care of you." "Okay, thank you, Dad Su." Su Yaoyao happily agreed, then requested, "Dad Su, I'm so tired from dance lessons with Teacher Li. Can you carry me upstairs?" "Sure." Su Yang smiled, then carried Su Yaoyao to the room on the third floor. The rooms in the riverside villa were cleaned regularly, sometimes even by Su Shenping himself, so they were spotless. The quilts, mattresses, and other items in the room were all cleaned spotlessly. "Yaoyao, go to bed early. Remember to call me if you need anything." After giving these instructions, Su Yang was about to leave the room. "Dad Su." Su Yaoyao stopped Su Yang and whispered, "I'm so scared sleeping alone in a strange place. Can you tell me a story and wait until I fall asleep before leaving?" "No problem." Su Yang pulled up a chair and sat beside the bed, smiling gently. "What do you want to hear?" "Anything's fine. I love anything Dad Su tells." Su Yaoyao's eyes lit up with joy. "Okay, then. Let me tell you a story from another world." Su Yang smiled softly and said, "The vast universe stretches as far as the eye can see, and humans aren't the only ones on Earth. In a corner of the vast universe, there's a place called Xuantian Immortal Realm. There, many people can cultivate to become immortals and achieve immortality through their own efforts. Our story begins with a 4-year-old child, about your age." Then, Su Yang vividly recounted the story of a little boy's rise from an ordinary person to an immortal emperor. The protagonist of this story, naturally, was Su Yang himself. However, before the story was finished, Su Yaoyao fell asleep, her long eyelashes covering her eyes, like a sleeping beauty, truly adorable. Yaoyao, sweet dreams, Su Yang smiled kindly, tucked Su Yaoyao in, and then left the room. Then, Su Yang returned to the next room and sat cross-legged, choosing not to cultivate. Because Earth's spiritual energy was too thin, he had finally realized that without the energy stone, even if he sat there for 50 years, he wouldn't have the chance to build his foundation. Furthermore, he had to remain vigilant, lest he miss Su Yaoyao's calls. After all, this place was unfamiliar to her, and she needed to sleep alone, so he had to keep a close eye on her. Hours passed unnoticed. Around 2 in the morning, Su Yang suddenly noticed Su Yaoyao waking up and leaving the room alone. Huh? Su Yang frowned, fearing something might happen to her, and hurriedly followed her out. At this moment, Su Yaoyao arrived at the villa's courtyard, surrounded by pitch darkness. She showed no fear, her eyes devoid of the childishness expected of a child her age. Instead, she was calm and composed, like a young adult. This intrigued Su Yang. What was going on? Why did the little girl have 2 faces? Mom, I've already met Dad and am now living in his villa. At this moment, Su Yaoyao rolled up her sleeves, revealing the phone watch on her wrist. Don't worry, she continued, I was afraid Dad wouldn't be able to accept the sudden arrival of a daughter, so I didn't tell him the truth. I was laying the groundwork first, and I'll meet him when the time is right. Besides, Dad isn't as bad as you say. He's incredibly kind to me and loves me so much. He even hugged me today, Su Yaoyao said with a beaming smile. Su Yang, hiding in the shadows, was struck by lightning when he heard these words, his mind going blank. Could it be that Su Yaoyao is really my daughter? Chapter 167 The little girl has 2 faces. Su Yang was bewildered, his heart restless. Besides him, Su Yaoyao was the only one in the villa. So, the father Su Yaoyao was referring to must be Su Yang. For a moment, Su Yang was overwhelmed with mixed feelings and confusion. Who exactly was Yaoyao's mother? How could he have no idea? Young Master Su has ruined so many women. Could Su Yaoyao's mother be one of them? Su Yang nodded and thought to himself, it should be. Since Su Yaoyao has come to me, and she and I do have a blood connection, this Su Yaoyao is most likely my biological daughter. Just now, I actually complained that I was a scumbag and said that I would rather die than live. This is outrageous. Su Yang smiled bitterly, then sighed and thought to himself, hey, Yaoyao is only 4 years old and is too sensible. She was afraid that I could not accept having another daughter suddenly. She knew that I was her father, but she did not recognize me. It is said that daughters are carrying little cotton-padded jackets. This is absolutely true. It's just that Yaoyao has suffered. She lacked the love of her father since childhood. She must be particularly eager for fatherly love. Su Yang hid in the dark, looking at Su Yaoyao who was talking on the phone, his eyes moistened involuntarily. By the way, Mom, when do you plan to meet Dad? It seems that Dad has a very good relationship with Teacher Li now. At this moment, Su Yaoyao was still talking to her mother on the phone, reminding her, if you want to win over Dad, hurry up and do it. It will be too late. If you want to be with Dad by then, you can only be his concubine. A cold voice came from the watch phone. Yaoyao, I told you before that it is impossible for me to be with Su Yang. Back then, there were some things between him and me that I didn't need to tell you. You wouldn't understand even if I told you. In short, he and I had no feelings for each other before, and we can't renew our relationship now. Su Yaoyao asked in confusion. Why? Your dad is not worthy of me. Jin Shangsu's voice came from the watch phone. Moreover, even if I condescend and accept him, he can't bear the anger of those people from the ancient martial sect, so don't mention things like what happened just now, okay? Su Yaoyao was a little frustrated, but she already knew it well, so she was soon relieved. Yaoyao, besides hugging you, did Su Yang say anything else to you today? Did he doubt your identity? Jin Shangsu asked. My dad is so stupid. He didn't realize that I was his daughter and refused to sleep with me. Su Yaoyao continued. Dad even told me a story. I don't know what he was thinking. He actually told me a story about a man cultivating immortality. I'm a girl, okay? Shouldn't he tell me stories like Snow White? However, although Dad's stories are hard to hear, they are great as bedtime stories. I fell asleep while listening to them. Su Yaoyao said happily, I sleep very well with my dad by my side. Well, you should get along well with him for a while. I guess he will have a different attitude towards you when he knows you are his daughter. Jin Shangsu was not optimistic about Su Yang and said lightly, he is a person who will not take responsibility. Mom, please don't talk nonsense. Su Yaoyao defended Su Yang and retorted, just now he didn't know he was my dad. I said I didn't have a father and grew up with my mother. He thought it was dad who abandoned us. So he scolded dad for being a scumbag and saying that he would rather die than live. He, scolding himself. Dad is so stupid. It's hilarious just thinking about it. Su Yaoyao's eyes curved into crescents. Did he really say that? Jin Shangsu asked in surprise. Yeah, so he's made quite a bit of progress. Jin Shangsu was quite surprised, but then she remembered something and said, Yaoyao, I've heard that someone in Country D is going to kill Su Yang soon. Let's not get involved. Just hang out with him for a few days and then leave. Someone's going to kill my dad. Su Yaoyao suddenly snapped, no, I can't leave. I have to stay and protect dad. I'm warning you, Su Yaoyao, you can't get involved in this. Do you hear me? On the other end of the line, before Jin Shangsu could finish, Su Yaoyao raised her little finger and hung up. I'm so annoyed. Finally some peace and quiet. Su Yaoyao smiled, then lowered her sleeve to cover her phone and watch, then walked into the living room, presumably to rest. Seeing this, Su Yang quickly scurried back to his room. Lying in bed, Su Yang was so excited that he couldn't sleep at all. I didn't expect to have such a big daughter out of nowhere. Ha ha ha, Yaoyao is so cute, so beautiful, and sensible. She's actually my daughter, so cool. In his joy, Su Yang began to seriously consider whether to meet Su Yaoyao. Su Yaoyao hadn't revealed her identity because she was afraid Su Yang wouldn't be able to accept her sudden appearance, so she wanted to lay the groundwork first, allowing Su Yang to slowly accept her. However, Su Yang could naturally accept Su Yaoyao, and he even wanted to meet his daughter right away. But from the conversation between Su Yaoyao and her mother just now, it seemed that Su Yaoyao wouldn't stay in Jiangbei for long. Furthermore, Su Yaoyao's mother had a very bad impression of Su Yang. If I recognize Yaoyao, I'll give her plenty of fatherly love over the next few days. But if my issues with her mother aren't resolved, she'll definitely take her away. She'll be torn and heartbroken. Rather than that, let's just play along with Yaoyao. Once I find out her mother's identity and settle our issues, I'll consider recognizing her. After careful consideration, Su Yang finally decided to wait and see. He was deeply curious about who Yaoyao's mother was and what background she had that would allow her to find out that Country D was planning an attack on him. Tomorrow I'm going to the Nine Gates Black Market and have Liu Wei help investigate. With their power, they'll definitely be able to find out something. With that thought in mind, Su Yang stopped thinking about it and closed his eyes, preparing to rest. But then, he suddenly noticed that Su Yaoyao hadn't returned to her own room, but had walked into his. Dad Su, I feel so scared after going to the bathroom. I don't dare to sleep alone. Can you hold me? Su Yaoyao said timidly, standing by the door, looking particularly pitiful. This girl really has two faces. She was not like this when she was on the phone just now. You are quite good at acting coquettishly in front of Dad. Su Yang smiled inwardly, then waved his hand and said with a smile, okay, come here, Daddy will hold you to sleep. He didn't know Su Yaoyao's identity before, but now that he knew this little girl was his daughter, Su Yang naturally had no worries. Great, thank you, Dad Su. Su Yaoyao was so happy that she happily crawled into Su Yang's bed and hugged Su Yang tightly. At the same time, she arched her little head and smiled happily, sleeping next to Dad. I feel so at ease, peas. Thank you to user 10,967,809 for the explosive updates and rewards. Haha, this is the biggest gift this book has received so far. Thank you. I really want to write your name on the cigarette and inhale it into my lungs, so that you can stay closest to my heart. In addition, thank you for everyone's free gifts. I don't think even a dime is too little. If you give free gifts, it doesn't cost any money anyway. Please, the author is a full-time employee and his income depends entirely on this book. Chapter 168 Jin Shangsu's Identity. Holding his daughter in his arms, Su Yang felt a sense of peace and security. It was a feeling he had never experienced before. He had cultivated for 100,000 years and experienced everything in the world, but the only thing he had never experienced was being a father. Now, Su Yang understood it, and a smile appeared on his lips as he slowly drifted off to sleep. Tonight, the autumn breeze was cool, the sky was full of stars outside the window, and the faint chirping of insects could be heard. Su Yang held his daughter, Su Yaoyao, in his arms, and they both fell asleep, no one disturbing them. Everything was just right. At this moment, outside the riverside villa, Jin Shangsu was watching this scene from afar, her cold face slightly moved. She was Li Fixun's best friend, Zhang Zuir. 5 years ago, young Master Su, under the scheme of Su Jinghan, got Zhang Zuir pregnant while drunk. The incident became public knowledge, and the Zhang family was forced to leave Jiangbei. Before leaving, Zhang Zuir claimed to have aborted the baby. But in reality, she gave birth to the child and raised it single-handedly. The relationship between Zhang Zuir and Su Yang is complicated by the presence of Li Fixun. The former young Master Su, known for his polite and humble demeanor, often dined and went to the movies with Li Fixun and Zhang Zuir. The three of them were often seen together, both at school and after school. Zhang Zuir wasn't originally from Jiangbei. About 10 years ago, the head of the Zhang family brought her to the Zhang household, claiming she was the daughter of a distant relative. Rumors circulated among Jiangbei celebrities about Zhang Zuir's identity, claiming she was the head's illegitimate daughter, though whether true or not remains unknown. After arriving in Jiangbei, Zhang Zuir forged a close friendship with Li Fixun and integrated herself into the lives of both Su Yang and Li Fixun. Because everyone speculated that Zhang Zuir was the head's illegitimate daughter, she was bullied by almost everyone in the Zhang household, save the head. For those 5 years, Su Yang, acting as the head of the Su family, repeatedly defended Zhang Zuir. Over time, Zhang Zuir naturally developed an indescribable affection for him. But she knew that Li Fixun and Su Yang were engaged, and her best friend was the fiancé of the boy she liked. So, Li Fixun could only bury her love in her heart, never expressing her feelings. Until 5 years ago, when Su Yang broke into her room and they had sex, the deadlock was completely broken. Afterwards, Zhang Zuir left Jiangbei. Originally, she had planned to never return to Jiangbei. But Su Yaoyao had grown up and become more sensible, and from time to time she would hold her chin in her hand and stare blankly, missing her father. Su Yaoyao asked Zhang Zuir more than once where her father was, and Zhang Zuir always answered casually. She could see that her daughter longed for fatherly love and was unhappy without him by her side. In recent days, Su Yaoyao's condition had worsened. After careful consideration, Zhang Zuir decided that she should not let her daughter have any regrets, so she brought Su Yaoyao to Jiangbei. Su Yang, I hope you can be a good father. Don't let Yaoyao down, and don't let me down either. Zhang Zuir gazed at the riverside villa from afar before disappearing into the darkness. Besides escorting Su Yaoyao to Su Yang, she had another purpose in Jiangbei, to meet Su Xuantian. Initially, she had thought Su Xuantian was just a young grandmaster, in his 20s, with considerable talent. Therefore, Zhang Zuir sought to win him over and make him a friend of the Nine Gates black market. But at that time, she didn't think much of him. But the events of the past few days had changed Zhang Zuir's perception of him. This Su Xuantian had actually wiped out a half-step Earth sect on the border of Eastern Frontier. He'd slaughtered 80,000 people, including 2 mid-stage grandmasters and 1 half-step Earth sect. For someone in his early 20s to possess such formidable strength was simply astonishing. Consequently, Zhang Zuir began to value Su Xuantian and resolved to make him an ally of the Nine Gates black market, no matter the cost. At the same time, at the Pingdao martial arts school in Jiangbei, Iro, a master of the Earth sect sent by Country D, was practicing in a private room of the martial arts school wearing training clothes and holding a katana. He was seen with one leg bent in front of him, his body leaning forward, his hands tightly gripping the katana, his eyes fierce and extraordinary, standing there motionless. There was no aura emanating from him, just like an ordinary wooden stake. Kill, but the next moment, Ito suddenly shouted, and a terrifying murderous intent instantly swept the whole place. Almost at the same time, the katana in his hand slashed out, carrying a powerful force, crushing the air and exploding, buzzing. Boom. In just a blink of an eye, the prop wooden stake 5 meters away was hit by the sword energy and turned into pieces. Senior Iro, is this the legendary Ito Ryu? The owner of the Pingdao martial arts school next to him asked cautiously with a look of horror on his face. Yet, Ito nodded slightly, put away the samurai sword, and said with a smile, my understanding of Ito Ryu can only be said to be average, and I haven't mastered it completely. Then how terrifying is the real Ito Ryu? The gym owner was very shocked and tried to flatter Ito. Haha, the Ito Ryu is undoubtedly Country D's most powerful offensive method. Ito smiled and asked, have you found out where Xuantian is? Not yet, the owner shook his head. Xuantian's origins are mysterious. No one knows his master or where he lives. However, after our undercover agents made inquiries, we found out a useful piece of information. The owner continued, about a few days ago, the head of the Li family, one of the 4 great families in Jiangbei, Li Chunfeng, celebrated his birthday and received a tea brick called Wealth and Blossoms. Xuantian purchased that tea brick on the Juman black market. Logically, only Xuantian could possess it, so the gift must have been from Xuantian, the owner speculated. Therefore, Senior Ito, I suspect Xuantian has connections with the Li family, otherwise, he wouldn't have sent the gift. Hearing this, Ito said calmly, that's easy. Send someone to the Li family and detain their entire household. Then, spread the word and force Xuantian to appear. If Xuantian doesn't come, then kill all the Li family members. They're just a small clan, nothing to fear, Ito said casually, as if the dozens of lives of the Li family were nothing more than ants in his eyes. Senior Ito, the owner said in embarrassment, Li Chunfeng, the head of the Li family, is a renowned master in Jiangbei. It's said that anyone who has seen him strike a sword has died. I've just reached the Grandmaster level, so I'm afraid I'm no match for him. Really? Ito heard this and immediately let out a disdainful smile. What masters can there be in such a small Jiangbei? I'll do this myself. You just lead the way, but we'll have to wait until tomorrow night. Tonight is my time for health. As he spoke, Ito's gaze fell on the owner and asked, are the 2 nursing women I asked you to prepare ready? Yes, they've been sent to your room, the owner said hurriedly. Yes, Ito nodded, a wicked smile on his old, dry face, and then he hunched over and walked towards his room. Chapter 169 Tomato and Egg Noodles. The next day, early in the morning, Xuyang was still asleep when he suddenly felt an itch on his face. He opened his eyes and saw Su Yaoyao gently stroking his hair across his face. Yaoyao, you're awake so early, Xuyang said softly with a smile. Yes, Su Yaoyao smiled happily. Yaoyao doesn't have the habit of sleeping in. You wake up early every day. Then, a sweet smile spread across Su Yaoyao's adorable face, and she said coquettishly, Daddy Su, Yaoyao's so hungry. My little tummy's almost bursting. Can you take me out for breakfast? Haha. Xuyang sat up, rubbed his daughter's head, and chuckled softly. Outdoor food isn't healthy. Daddy's going to make you something. Okay, Dad can cook? Su Yaoyao exclaimed in surprise. Of course I am. I'm a great cook. Xuyang got out of bed, smiled, and said, let's go to the kitchen and see what we can eat. Yeah, Su Yaoyao nodded happily, and then followed Xuyang downstairs to the kitchen. In the past, Su Shenping would occasionally stay at the riverside villa for a few days, so the kitchen refrigerator was regularly stocked with fresh ingredients. Xuyang opened the refrigerator and saw tomatoes, dried noodles, and some eggs. Do you like tomato and egg noodles? Xuyang asked with a smile. Su Yaoyao nodded frequently. Yes, I do. I love anything Daddy Su cooks. Okay, wait in the dining room. Dinner will be served in 10 minutes. Xuyang kindly ruffled his daughter's hair. But Su Yaoyao hugged Xuyang tightly and said stubbornly, no, I want to stay with Daddy Su. Xuyang smiled and began to make breakfast. Tomato and egg noodles are simple ingredients, but making them delicious requires a lot of culinary skills. Although Xuyang wasn't a master cook, after 100,000 years of practice and having come across the self-proclaimed gods of food in the Xuantian immortal realm, his cooking skills were certainly not bad. His cooking skills were definitely better than any chef on earth. After all, he had grilled dragon meat, made soup with black tortoise shells, and consumed a fair share of phoenix wings. Even with simple ingredients now, Xuyang was confident he could create something unique. My daughter's body doesn't have any Zenki fluctuations, so it doesn't look like she has a special constitution. Perhaps it's related to my body. After all, young Master Su is just a useless cultivator. Xuyang carefully examined Su Yaoyao and thought to himself, however, my daughter is still young, and her aptitude can be gradually improved. Later, while I cook, I'll infuse her with a little spiritual energy to nourish her body and improve her constitution. In the Xuantian immortal realm, many people are born with powerful constitutions. Examples include the desolate body, the chaos body, the divine body, and so on. With a strong constitution, cultivation is much more efficient, and their future is limitless. However, constitutions are largely inherited or atavistic. Young Master Su is just an ordinary person, without any martial arts talent. The Su family is just a small clan on Earth, and it's obvious that no one in his family possessed a special constitution. Therefore, Su Yaoyao naturally wouldn't inherit any of these traits. She would be just an ordinary child. However, aside from genetic atavism, many constitutions can be cultivated through means. Now that he knew Su Yaoyao was his daughter, Su Yang naturally had to make preparations in advance to pave the way for his daughter to embark on the path of cultivation. So, he subtly injected spiritual energy into the ingredients. As long as the spiritual energy is not used to elevate one's realm, there will be no limitations in subsequent cultivation, and it will be beneficial in every way. Not long after, the fragrant tomato and egg noodles were ready. Su Yang and Su Yaoyao went to the restaurant together to enjoy a simple breakfast. Wow! Su Yaoyao took a bite of the noodles, her eyes instantly lit up, and she smiled happily. Dad Su, this is so delicious. This is the best tomato and egg noodles I have ever eaten. Also, it warms my stomach and makes my body feel so comfortable. Dad Su, how do you make it? Can you teach me? Su Yaoyao asked. Su Yang ruffled his daughter's hair. He had already done it 3 times today, but he couldn't help himself. He smiled and said, Yaoyao, you don't have to learn. Daddy will always be by your side. If you like it, I'll always make it for you. Yeah, Su Yaoyao nodded excitedly, but then became frustrated. But Mom will come to pick you up in a few days, and then I won't be able to see Daddy Su anymore. Seeing his daughter's expression, Su Yang felt like a knife stabbing at his heart. It was extremely painful, so he promised, Yaoyao, if you like Daddy, you can stay with Daddy forever. No one can take you away, Daddy Su. Su Yaoyao met Su Yang's gaze, tears welling in her big, dark eyes. It was unclear what she was thinking. After a few seconds of pausing, Su Yaoyao took a deep breath and forced a smile. Hey, Daddy Su, I've got this message for you. Don't go back on your word. Yeah, Su Yang nodded seriously. La, Daddy Su, I'm done talking to you. You're keeping Yaoyao from eating your tomato and egg noodles. Su Yaoyao was a child after all, and sadness came and went quickly. Su Yaoyao devoured half the pot of tomato and egg noodles Su Yang had made in no time, much to his surprise. You know, the portion was quite large, not even a 4-year-old, let alone a normal adult, could handle it. Burp, I'm so full. I feel like my little tummy's about to explode. Su Yaoyao gently stroked her swollen belly and smiled. Daddy Su, why are you looking at me? Hurry up and eat. The noodles won't taste good if they stick together. Yeah, Su Yang smiled, scooped up a bowl of tomato and egg noodles, and prepared to eat. But then he suddenly noticed Li Fixun approaching and put down his chopsticks. Li Fixun soon entered the villa, breakfast box in hand, and met Su Yang and Su Yaoyao in the living room. Su Yang, I brought you. Su Yu was talking when she saw the tomato and egg noodles on the table and smiled. I didn't expect you'd already eaten them, Su Yang. They look quite appetizing. Did you make them? Yeah, Su Yang nodded, then chuckled softly. Those what outside aren't healthy. You want a bowl of noodles, Tisk, you must be making something unhealthy. I won't eat that, Li Fixun pouted. Teacher Li, I've already tasted it for you. It's delicious, Su Yu invited her, give it a try. I guarantee you'll be amazed, since you said so, Su Yang, I'll give you a little face and reluctantly have a couple of bites. Li Fixun smiled and sat down. But after she took a bite of the tomato and egg noodles, she couldn't stop. She devoured the remaining half pot of noodles in one gulp, not even leaving the soup. Burp, Li Fixun also burped, and then looked at Su Yang in surprise. It's delicious, Su Yang, I didn't expect you to be so delicious down there. I want to eat your down there too. When can you let me eat it again? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170 Li Fixun, Su Yang, you are really double standard. Ahem. Hearing Li Fixun's words, Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and said, when we're alone, you can eat my pussy anytime. Why do you have to let me eat it when we're alone? Li Fixun was speaking when she suddenly felt the wheels of the car run over her face. Her jade-like face flushed and she gritted her teeth and said, "Su Yang, you are so boring. Why are you driving in front of the children?" "Driving?" Su Yaoyao looked confused and asked. "Dad Su was always at home and didn't drive." "Teacher Li, why are you talking about this? I don't understand this." Li Fixun saw this and hurriedly explained, "Yaoyao, on the way here just now, I saw a driver who looked very similar to Su Yang and thought it was him." "Oh, so that's how it is." Su Yaoyao nodded as if she understood, but her eyes curved into crescents, obviously understanding something. The explanation was over. Li Fixun breathed a sigh of relief, but worried about corrupting the child, she gave Su Yang a sharp look. Then, Li Fixun seemed to have a thought and asked curiously, "Yaoyao, what did you call Su Yang just now?" "Dad Su," Su Yaoyao said sweetly. Li Fixun was even more puzzled. "Why do you call him Dad? Yaoyao doesn't have a dad. She grew up with her mom. Uncle Su was very good to Yaoyao. Yaoyao missed your dad, so..." Su Yaoyao's eyes reddened as she spoke, looking pitiful. "I'm sorry, Yaoyao, Teacher Li brought up your sad story." Li Fixun was a little bewildered and hurriedly soothed, "Yaoyao, Su Yang is your dad from now on. Don't be sad. We'll take you to the amusement park later." "Okay, really?" Su Yaoyao exclaimed in surprise. Yaoyao has never been to an amusement park. "Is that really possible? Never been to an amusement park?" "That's right. A child who grew up with their mom, and whose mom is busy with work, it's normal for her to never have been to an amusement park." Alice, what a pitiful child. Li Fixun's motherly love instantly flooded her. She squatted down, rubbed Su Yaoyao's little head, and said gently, "Of course it's true. Let's go now." "Yeah, great. Yaoyao can go to the playground now." Su Yaoyao happily spun in circles, clapping her hands as she went. Seeing Su Yaoyao's joy, Li Fixun also smiled and pulled out an Alps lollipop from her pocket. "Yaoyao, Teacher Li stopped by the store this morning and bought you a candy. It's strawberry flavored. I wonder if you like it." "I do." "Thank you, Teacher Li." Su Yaoyao took a lollipop and kissed Li Fixun on the cheek. This delighted Li Fixun, who slowly raised her hand to wipe the saliva from her face. At the same time, she thought, strange, how come Yaoyao, like Su Yang, leaves saliva on someone's face every time she kisses them? Yaoyao, just as Li Fixun was curious, Su Yang's eyes fell on his daughter and he shook his head, saying, "You can't eat sweets in the morning. It's bad for your teeth." "Ah, I'll just have a little." Su Yaoyao rolled her eyes and begged, "Dad Su, can I?" "No, children can't have sweets in the morning." Su Yang refused seriously. "Okay then." Su Yaoyao was slightly disappointed, but soon cheered up and urged, "Dad Su, can we go to the playground now?" "Yes." Su Yang nodded, then looked at Li Fixun and smiled. "Honey, do you have classes at school today?" "Yes, it's an elective." "Then why did you ask to go to the playground? Don't you have classes?" Su Yang asked. "Didn't Yaoyao cry just now?" I comforted her. Li Fixun whispered, "But it doesn't matter. At worst, I can skip class." "Wife, you're a model student, how can you skip class?" "What do you care?" Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and complained, "I only skip class once in a while, and you don't go to school every day. Compared to you, I am still a good student." "Haha." Su Yang smiled, and then said, "Wife, eating too much sugar is bad for your teeth. Don't buy candy for Yaoyao in the future." "Okay, I get it." Li Fixun nodded in agreement. "You are right, that's indeed the case. You are thoughtful. I won't buy it next time." "Have you finished your meal? If not, eat quickly. After that, we will go to Happy Valley." Li Fixun gathered the hair on her forehead and smiled softly. "A few days ago, I was watching Douyin and saw a video of Happy Valley in the same city. There are roller coasters, Ferris wheels, carousels, and many other projects. I have wanted to go there for a long time." "I'm not hungry. I usually don't eat in the morning." Su Yang smiled and said, "Honey, you've given yourself away. I think you want to go to the amusement park, right?" Li Fixun, not expecting Su Yang to see through her little thought, tried to cover it up, saying, "Don't talk nonsense. I'm mainly here to keep Yaoyao company." Haha. Su Yang didn't continue the conversation. Next, Su Yang drove Li Fixun and Su Yaoyao to Happy Valley in his Ferrari. Soon, the three of them arrived at their destination. "Wow, what a huge Ferris wheel. There's a roller coaster. Dad Su, Teacher Li, I'm scared." Can you guys come with me? Look, that internet-famous little train. It runs 100 kilometers, for one dad. Haha, Dad Su, I want to ride that. Su Yaoyao completely let herself go in Happy Valley, a beaming smile plastered on her innocent face. Su Yang and Li Fixun played with her for most of the day. Strangely, Su Yaoyao seemed to have endless energy. She played for hours without even breaking a sweat. At the beginning, Li Fixun was very curious about Happy Valley and tried several projects. But gradually, Li Fixun couldn't stand it anymore. She was too tired and some of the projects were scary, so she sat in the pavilion to rest. Before she knew it, it was noon. Su Yaoyao's stomach was growling with hunger, and she was willing to leave Happy Valley with Su Yang and Li Fixun. About half an hour later, the three of them came to Joseph's restaurant and ordered some delicious food. After that, Li Fixun went to the toilet. While waiting for the meal, Su Yaoyao saw the children at the next table eating candy, and she kept licking her lips, obviously wanting to eat it. Yaoyao, wait here for a while, don't go anywhere, I'm going out to buy something. Su Yang smiled when he saw this. Su Yaoyao said sweetly, yeah, Daddy Su, please come back soon, okay? Su Yang nodded and walked out of the restaurant. When he returned, he was holding a lollipop in his hand. He presented it like a treasure, saying, Yaoyao, look what this is, lollipop. Su Yaoyao's eyes lit up instantly, and she smiled happily. Daddy Su, did you buy me some candy? Yes, take it. Su Yang thoughtfully unwrapped the candy and handed it to his daughter, ruffling her hair with a doting look. Thank you, Daddy Su. Su Yaoyao took a lollipop and popped it directly into her mouth, feeling particularly satisfied. It's grape-flavored, so delicious. Seeing his daughter so happy, Su Yang also felt happy. His eyes filled with doting. At this moment, Li Fixun walked over. Seeing this, she couldn't help but smile and said, Su Yang, you are so hypocritical. You didn't let me buy candy for Yaoyao, but you bought it for her yourself. Chapter 171 Dongxikan's Collapse. Well, Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and smiled softly. Actually, it's okay to have it once in a while. Double standard. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and said, you said sugar is bad for teeth and children can't have it. Have you forgotten? I said no sugar in the morning, and it's already noon, Su Yang explained. Okay, stop explaining. You just want to pamper Yaoyao yourself, right? I'm telling you, Su Yang, that's not okay. Li Fixun said seriously, I want to pamper Yaoyao too. She calls you Daddy Su, so I'm her mom, but Yaoyao already has a mom, Su Yaoyao interrupted. Yaoyao, Li Fixun squatted down, smoothed Su Yaoyao's hair, and smiled gently. A biological mom is a biological mom. Teacher Li can be your godmother. That way, we can see each other often, and your Daddy Su and I can play with you often. Really? Su Yaoyao said happily. Yes, Li Fixun smiled. I'll tell your mother about this when she comes to pick you up. Although I don't know your mother, Teacher Li is trustworthy. Your mother won't refuse. If your mother agrees to let me be your godmother, then if she's busy with work, I can legitimately take care of you, Li Fixun said seriously, as if she had given it a lot of thought and truly liked Su Yaoyao. Yeah, Teacher Li, you're so kind. Su Yaoyao took out her lollipop and kissed Li Fixun sweetly. About 10 minutes later, the food they had ordered arrived. Su Yang and Li Fixun took turns feeding Su Yaoyao, looking like a family of three. The scene was particularly heartwarming. But just then, Dongxikan and a blonde foreign woman entered the restaurant and walked straight to the table next to Su Yang. Ms. Mona, Joseph's is the best Western restaurant in Jiangbei. I especially love their foie gras. It's delicious. You must try it, Dongxikan said with a smile. Okay, the blonde, blue-eyed foreign woman sat down on the chair, her Chinese accent even more standard than Dongxikan's. Ms. Mona, trust me, the delicious food here won't disappoint you. Dongxikan was speaking when he suddenly saw Li Fixun at the next table. His eyes lit up with joy. Fixun, why are you here? What a coincidence. We've met by chance, thousands of miles apart. We're so connected, Mr. Dong, by chance, thousands of miles apart, we meet, by chance, we're not. It's not like we're connected by heart, the foreign woman, Mona, corrected. That's what Miss Mona said, Dongxikan replied casually. Then, ignoring Mona, he walked over to Li Fixun and said with a flattering smile, Fixun, can we have lunch together? Li Fixun shifted her chair, making no effort to acknowledge Dong Zikin. Fei Zhuan, I studied abroad for many years and have a lot of experience with Western cuisine. I also know Joseph's restaurant well enough. Dong Zikin was unwilling to give in and continued, please accept my invitation. Seeing this, Su Yang, who was sitting opposite, immediately became unhappy and said coldly, Dong Zikin, are you blind? Can't you see Fei Zhuan is dining with me, Su? Young Master Su, Dong Zikin couldn't take his eyes off Li Fei Zhuan. Only then did he notice Su Yang next to him, and his face changed drastically. However, he thought about the support of the ancient martial arts sect in his family and calmed down immediately. After calming down, Dong Zikin mustered up the courage, met Su Yang's gaze, and said seriously, Young Master Su, it is Fixun's freedom to dine with whomever she wants. Don't force Fixun just because you are the eldest young master of the Su family. Dong Zikin turned to look at Li Fixun, patted his chest and said, Fixun, I know it was definitely young Master Su who forced you. Don't be afraid. I will protect you today. Young Master Su dare not threaten you. Who said I was threatened? Li Fixun didn't appreciate it at all, and said lightly, are you blind? Can't you see that we are a family of three eating together? Are we very happy, a family of three? Dong Zikin's expression froze in an instant. He looked at Su Yaoyao next to him, and then said in disbelief, Fixun, you and Su Yang have children? Yeah, Li Fixun did not deny it, and said indifferently, so, young Master Dong, give up on me, and don't bother me anymore in the future. After all, I am already the mother of a 4-year-old child. Dong Zikin couldn't accept it. He had just returned to Jiangbei and had developed a fond fantasy about Li Fixun. But now, he suddenly learned that his beloved had a child with Su Yang. This was worse than being cuckolded. Fixun, this isn't true. Tell me, this isn't true. Feeling lost, Dong Zikin reached over and tried to grab Li Fixun's delicate wrist. However, before his hand could even touch her, Su Yang grabbed it. At this moment, Su Yang grasped Dong Zikin's arm with one hand and said sullenly, you bastard, you're courting death by trying to touch my wife. Without mercy, Su Yang twisted Dong Zikin's right arm. Dong Zikin screamed, staggering, and soon collapsed to the ground, his expression etched with agony. Shut up and don't interrupt our meal, Su Yang threatened coldly, otherwise, I'll silence you forever. Dong Zikin's screams instantly stopped. Instead, he glared at Su Yang with resentment, gritting his teeth and saying, young Master Su, you don't really think I'm afraid of you, do you? Your Su family is nothing compared to our Dong family. Dong Zikin stood up, sneering, our Dong family is backed by an ancient martial arts sect. A few days ago, a random expert came and nearly beat your father to death. Young Master Su, what are you so arrogant about? Dong Wensheng had repeatedly urged Dong Zikin to keep the matter of Jeping a secret and not to tell anyone. But now, with Su Yang breaking his arm and in excruciating pain, Dong Zikin tried to threaten Su Yang with a shadowless sectum. Su Yang's brows furrowed at Dong Zikin's words, but then a smile spread across his lips. It seemed the Dong family was somehow connected to the half-step Earth sect at night. Su Yang had originally planned to let Dong Zikin go, but upon learning of this, he stood up and strode over to him. Snap! Immediately, he raised his hand and slapped Dong Zikin, knocking him to the ground. Then, Su Yang stepped forward, stepped on Dong Zikin's disabled hand, and said with a playful smile, Master Dong, you're just bragging. Since your Dong family is so powerful, then you should contact your father right now and have him send someone to rescue you. Okay, Su Yang, I'll find my father right away. Just wait. Dong Zikin's face was grimacing with pain. He hurriedly took out his phone with his free hand and called the Dong family. Chapter 172 Zikin is a good boy who never causes trouble. At this moment, at the Dong family manor, a black Land Rover pulled up outside, and Dong Wensheng stepped out. He had spent the past 2 days traveling to the Shadowless sect, and after dozens of hours, he had finally returned to Jiangbei. Master, how's everything going? Has the Shadowless sect taken their anger out on our Dong family? A subordinate stepped forward and asked quietly. Yes, Dong Wensheng nodded, his face a little ugly. He said, the great elder of the Shadowless sect blamed our Dong family for not being well informed and not reporting Su Xuantian's strength in advance, thus killing the 9th elder Jeping. That's too much? The 9th elder Jeping came to Jiangbei with the purpose of killing Su Xianbing. Su Xuantian just happened to appear in the Juman black market. The subordinate gritted his teeth and said, Master, the Shadowless sect is too unreasonable. It is clearly shirking responsibility. Okay, I took out half of the Dong family's assets and appeased the great elder of the shadowless sect, Dong Wensheng said lightly. Don't mention this matter again in the future. After all, our Dong family is just a subsidiary force of the shadowless sect. Without the shadowless sect, our Dong family will have difficulty moving in Jiangbei. Yes, the subordinate responded respectfully. Alice, the wealth I've painstakingly accumulated over many years is now largely lost because of a single incident. This is the tragedy of being a clan affiliated with a sect, Dong Zikin sighed, his frustration evident, yet his inability to find a solution. For the Dong family, the shadowless sect was a formidable force. Even a single disciple, let alone an elder, could annihilate the Dong family. Therefore, Dong Wensheng felt powerless before the shadowless sect, unable to show even the slightest hint of discontent. Fortunately, the shadowless sect didn't kill the goose that lays the golden eggs, leaving the Dong family with half of their assets. Otherwise, the Dong family would have long since ceased to exist. To live with a king is like living with a tiger. The fate of the Dong family is always in the hands of an insatiable force. It's a painful feeling, Dong Wensheng sighed again, and then stopped thinking about it. His eyes fell on the subordinate next to him and asked, "Is Zikin at home?" "No," the subordinate responded truthfully. "Young Master Zikin has been practicing oral English very hard recently. He was at home just now, but now he has gone out to dinner with his oral English teacher. Zikin is such a good boy. He never causes trouble and never makes me worry." Speaking of his son Dong Zikin, Dong Wensheng showed a relieved smile. At that moment, the manor steward rushed out, cell phone in hand. Seeing Dong Wensheng, he anxiously said, "Master, it's young Master Zikin calling. It seems he's been assaulted." "What? How dare you assault my son?" Dong Wensheng, instantly enraged, grabbed the phone and asked, "Zikin, what's going on? Who assaulted you?" "Dad, don't ask so many questions. I'm at Joseph's restaurant." "Bring someone over quickly," Dong Zikin said, his voice filled with pain. Okay, Zikin, wait for me." Dong Wensheng's heart ached upon hearing his son's voice. He gritted his teeth and said, "Whoever it is, I'll pay them back 100-fold. After hanging up, Dong Wensheng didn't even bother to return home. Instead, he headed straight for Joseph's restaurant with several Dong family experts. The Dong family manor was not far from Joseph's restaurant. The black Land Rover ran through red lights and arrived at Joseph's restaurant in just 5 or 6 minutes. Without hesitation, Dong Wensheng, leading the Dong family experts, rushed into the restaurant. "Whoever hit my son, come here and get punished," Dong Wensheng shouted angrily as he entered the restaurant. "It was me." At this time, Su Yang did not move his foot away from Dong Zikin's hand, and said coldly, "Master Dong, you are so arrogant." "Young Master Su." Dong Wensheng's eyes fell on Su Yang, and his face suddenly turned ugly. In Jiangbei, there are not many people that the Dong family dare not offend, and young Master Su happened to be one of them. Both Su Qianqan and Su Jingguo were well-known figures. Su Jingguo, in particular, doted on young Master Su, so much so that almost no one in Jiangbei dared to touch him, and Dong Wensheng was no exception. "Dad, save me." At this time, Dong Zikin, lying on the ground, cried for help. Zikin, seeing his son's miserable appearance, Dong Wensheng met Su Yang's gaze and said through gritted teeth, "Young Master Su, Zikin has no grudge against you. Why did you hit him?" "No grudge?" Su Yang laughed coldly. "Haha, even if there is no grudge, I just want to abuse him. Is there any problem?" "You?" Dong Wensheng's expression darkened, and a trace of resentment flashed in his eyes, but then he said, "Young Master Su, no matter what Zikin did wrong, I apologize to you on his behalf. Let's forget about today's matter. Please be merciful and spare him this time." Su Yang stared at Dong Wensheng, smiling and saying, "Is this your attitude of apologizing? Have you ever seen someone apologizing while standing?" "Su Yang, don't go too far. After all, I am your uncle. Even if you are your father, you have to give me some face," Dong Wensheng said in a deep voice. "Stop it, haha," Su Yang sneered, completely disregarding Dong Wensheng. Right in front of Dong Wensheng, he crushed Dong Zikin's wrist and kicked him away. "Ah!" Dong Zikin screamed, his body sliding along the ground, his clothes rubbing against his back as he fainted from the pain. "Zikin!" Dong Wensheng hurried forward, caught Dong Zikin, and then ordered, "Someone, hurry, get Zikin to the best hospital in Jiangbei." "Yes." A Dong family expert quickly carried Dong Zikin on his back. "Young Master Su, today's feud is over. Let's see what happens," Dong Wensheng said, and began to lead his men out of Joseph's restaurant. "Stop," Su Yang saw this and said coldly, "Did I let you go, Su Yang? What else do you want?" Dong Wensheng added with a stern look, "Don't go too far. Our Dong family has been able to establish itself in Jiangbei and is definitely not a pushover. If you keep pressing on and don't give the Dong family face, then I don't mind breaking with your Su family." Su Yang heard this and said with a playful smile, "Haha, you're backed by an ancient martial arts sect, so you're just being tough, huh?" Dong Wensheng's face suddenly changed drastically when he heard this. He pretended to be ignorant and said, "HMPH, I don't understand what you're talking about." "Stop pretending." Su Yang stared at Dong Wensheng, his face dark and cold. "The people who attacked my father at the Juman black market a few days ago were from the Wu Ying sect behind you, right? How do you know?" Dong Wensheng's defenses were instantly broken after hearing Su Yang's detailed account. "Your son, Dong Zikan, told me himself," Su Yang said with a smile. "What?" Dong Wensheng's expression froze, and he gritted his teeth, looking at the unconscious Dong Zikan with a look of dismay. He had previously been smug about his son's lack of trouble, but now he was completely dumbfounded. Damn it. It's fine if he doesn't cause trouble, but when he does, it's terrifying. Chapter 173 Log into Su Xuantian account. Young Master Su, after a moment's thought, Dong Wensheng looked at Su Yang and defended himself. "Zikun was pissed off by you, so he said that. He wanted to scare you and save some face. Actually, our Dong family doesn't have any ancient martial arts power behind it. Zikun is just leveraging it," Dong Wensheng continued. "Just take what he said. Don't take it seriously, haha, Patriarch Dong. Do you think I believe that?" Su Yang smiled lightly, then his eyes hardened. He said calmly, "There's a private room on the top floor of the restaurant. We'd better talk this out, okay, young Master Su? Dong Wensheng will accompany you today," Dong Wensheng said solemnly. As the patriarch of the Dong family, he had already reached the middle stage of Huijin, a strength not considered weak in Jiangbei. Moreover, in Dong Wensheng's eyes, Su Yang was just a playboy. Naturally, he didn't care and readily agreed to go to the private room on the top floor with Su Yang. "Fixun, Yao, you guys enjoy your meal here. I'll be down shortly," Su Yang said with a smile. Okay, knowing Su Yang's true strength, Li Fixun wasn't worried at all. She smoothed her hair back from her forehead and smiled. "Su Yang, do you want me to save some food for you?" "No, I'm almost done," Su Yang said with a soft laugh. "Bad guy, don't bully my dad, or Yao will punch you in the head." Su Yao, standing next to him, initially threatened Dong Wensheng fiercely, then hugged Su Yang and said sweetly, "Dad Su, you have to come back soon, okay?" Su Yang nodded, rubbed Yao's little head, and then walked into the elevator with Dong Wensheng. It wasn't long before they were on the top floor, in a private room. Surrounded by tempered glass, the room offered a bird's-eye view of the surrounding scenery. Su Yang and Dong Wensheng were the only two people in the room. "Master Dong, please stop using that excuse." Su Yang stared at Dong Wensheng and cut to the chase, demanding, "Tell me, why did Jiaping kill my father?" "Haha, young Master Su, it seems you really do know something." With no one around, Dong Wensheng let go of his secrets and chuckled coldly. "Yes, Jiaping, the half-step Earth sect master from that day, is indeed from the Shadowless sect, and our Dong family is indeed an affiliate of the Shadowless sect. But, young Master Su, what good does it do you know? Even if you tell Su Kaiankan about this, it won't help. Do you think your grandfather would dare to provoke the Dong family? Or the Shadowless sect? My grandfather wouldn't dare." Su Yang met Dong Wensheng's gaze and said with a playful smile, "But I would." As soon as he finished speaking, Su Yang struck, grabbing Dong Wensheng's neck. The speed was so fast that Dong Wensheng had no time to react, and his face suddenly turned pale with fear. Besides fear, Dong Wensheng was filled with even greater shock. He couldn't help but ask, You're a master of ancient martial arts?" "Indeed," Su Yang said calmly. "Now, can you answer my question? What realm are you at?" Dong Wensheng's mind went blank, and he pressed on with a trembling voice. You'll understand after seeing my other identity." With that, Su Yang casually threw Dong Wensheng to the ground, then performed a disguise and logged into Su Xuantian's account. Simultaneously, a terrifying aura of intimidation emanated from Su Yang, sweeping across the room. Su Xuantian. Dong Wensheng had seen videos of Su Xuantian killing people, but seeing Su Yang transformed into Su Xuantian was incredibly shocking. He exclaimed in horror, "Young Master Su, it's actually Su Xuantian, Su Xuantian." When he first appeared in the Nine Gates black market, he had wiped out the smiling Buddha. Back then, everyone hailed him as a young master, and his reputation soared. Recently, Su Xuantian slew Jeping, a half-step Earth sect master, at the Nine Gates black market, thus ascending from young grandmaster to young Earth sect master. Su Xuantian's talent is unparalleled, and his background is even more mysterious, attracting speculation from numerous factions within the ancient martial arts world. And how could such a brilliant young prodigy be the notorious playboy, Su Yang? This stark contrast left Zhuang Wensheng momentarily incredulous. However, the aura emanating from Su Yang was like a mountain, suffocating him, forcing him to believe. Young Master Su, after being thrown to the ground by Su Yang, Zhuang Wensheng didn't stand up. Now, he hurriedly knelt, frantically begging for mercy. "I'm not aware of your identity. I'm sorry for the offense. I hope you can forgive me." Zhuang Wensheng had no fear of the Su family. If a falling out arose, he could call in the Wu-Ying sect. Even though the Su family was the most powerful family in Jiangbei, they would bow to the Duong family. But Zhuang Wensheng was deeply wary of Su Xuantian and would never dare to provoke him. Because, at such a young age, Su Xuantian possessed the strength to slay a half-step Earth sect master. He must be backed by a terrifying, ancient, and powerful faction. Zhuang Wensheng knew that the Wu-Ying sect's strongest disciple was only at the Grandmaster level. In comparison, Su Xuantian was far too powerful, and the power behind him was sure to crush the Wu-Ying sect. Some had previously speculated that Su Xuantian either came from the Fengshan land, between the mountains and seas, or deep within the clouds and mist. In short, he must be from a sect ranked highly in the ancient martial arts world. Therefore, upon realizing Su Yang was Su Xuantian, Zhuang Wensheng knelt without hesitation, treating him with the utmost respect. "Zhuang Wensheng," Su Yang returned to his original appearance, and then his eyes fell on Zhuang Wensheng, and said sternly, "Tell me, why did the elders of the Shadowless sect attack my dad?" Reporting to Mr. Su, "I don't know the details, but this matter has nothing to do with our Dong family," Zhuang Wensheng hurriedly explained. "Our Dong family and the Su family have no grudges or hatreds. I will definitely not let the Shadowless sect kill the head of the Su family. The Dong family is dispensable in the eyes of the Shadowless sect unless it is absolutely necessary. I will not contact the Shadowless sect." Zhuang Wensheng changed the subject and said truthfully, "However, I know there is one person who definitely knows." "Who?" Su Yang frowned. "The Grand Elder of the Shadowless sect," Zhuang Wensheng continued. "The Grand Elder oversees all matters of the Shadowless sect and holds considerable power. Jeping is merely the ninth elder, and any outreach requires the Grand Elder's approval. Young Master Su, if you want to know the reason, you can ask him. I'll ask him when I get a chance." Su Yang nodded, then looked at Zhuang Wensheng and said with a half-smile, "Zhuang Wensheng, almost no one in Jiangbei knows I'm Su Xuantian. Now that you know, what do you think I'll do to you?" Hearing this, Zhuang Wensheng's face suddenly changed. The thought of murder and silencing flashed through his mind. With this thought in mind, Zhuang Wensheng kowtowed hastily and devoutly, his face filled with fear. "Young Master Su, please don't kill me. From now on, I'll work for you. The Dong family is at your disposal." "Okay, you said it yourself." Upon hearing this, Su Yang formed a seal with his hands, condensing a complex pattern that he thrust directly into Zhuang Wensheng's body. This was the Master Servant's contract. What Su Yang had just condensed was a Master Servant's contract. There are two types of Master Servant's contracts. One is the contract signed with the White Cat, where the master and servant are relatively harmonious and mutually beneficial. The other is the contract used on Zhuang Wensheng, which forcibly locks him in as a slave. Once bound by the contract, Su Yang can know Zhuang Wensheng's thoughts at any time, and even a single thought can bring him to ruin. "Su. Young Master Su, what was that you just put into me?" Zhuang Wensheng asked tremblingly, feeling as if his life was in Su Yang's control. "Don't ask any more questions. Just know that from now on, I can decide your life or death at any time," Su Yang said calmly. "What kind of method is this? It's terrifying." Zhuang Wensheng, realizing Su Yang's power and cunning, expressed his loyalty with a look of fear. "Master Su, Zhuang Wensheng, promise that from now on, I will obey your orders and never neglect them." "Yes," Su Yang said calmly. "When you return, pretend nothing happened and don't reveal my identity. Also, if any experts from the Shadowless sect come to Jiangbei again, notify me immediately." Su Yang didn't kill Dong Wensheng because he wanted to use him to keep tabs on the shadowless sect's movements. Since the shadowless sect had sent someone to kill Su Shenping once, they might do it a second time, and a third time. To stay informed of the shadowless sect's plans, Su Yang kept Dong Wensheng with him, using a master servant's contract to control him and prevent any future trouble. Chapter 174, Are you addicted to pinching children's faces? Next, Su Yang and Dong Wensheng exchanged contact information and walked out of the rooftop private room to the first floor dining room. Master Dong, let's forget what happened today. This won't happen again, Su Yang said calmly in front of everyone. Thank you, Master Su, for your magnanimity. Dong Wensheng was initially grateful, then left the scene with the Dong family experts and Dong Zikan. Haha, Patriarch Dong has been slapped in the face. He was so arrogant just now, but now he's so cowardly. That's normal. The Su family has deep roots in Jiangbei. The old patriarch, Su Qianqian, and the heroic warrior Su Jingguo are both powerful figures. How could the Dong family dare to offend? Young Master Su is still awesome. Even the head of the family bows to him. I wonder what they said in the private room. No need to know. Patriarch Dong just confronted young Master Su in the restaurant because he didn't want to embarrass the Dong family. Young Master Su should know this, so he summoned him to the private room alone. I guess Patriarch Dong immediately knelt down when he arrived. Joseph Restaurant is very prestigious in Jiangbei. Most of the diners who can dine here come from wealthy and noble families, so they are familiar with the affairs of the major families in Jiangbei. The owner of this restaurant is also a top figure and has considerable influence, but compared to the Su and Dong families, he is far less influential and naturally dares not to inquire about Su Yang and Dong Wensheng. After dealing with the Dong family, Su Yang walked over to the dining table and asked with a smile, Wife, Yao Yao, are you guys done eating? Su Yao Yao nodded her head, then said fiercely, Dad Su, did that bad guy bully you? If he did, tell Yao Yao that you're very powerful and could blow his head off with one punch. Su Yao Yao waved her fist, looking ferocious. Haha, you're worthy of being Daddy's sweet little cotton padded jacket. Su Yang's heart melted. He gently ruffled Su Yao Yao's hair and smiled, but no one dares to bully Daddy, and you're just a kid. Let Daddy protect you. I won't let Daddy protect you. Mom said you're a complete dandy, uneducated, just an ordinary person, Su Yao Yao said proudly, but Yao Yao is different. Yao Yao is a super expert. With a wave of her hand, the sky collapses and the earth cracks. Super powerful, the delicate little girl spoke with pride and seriousness, full of humor. Okay, Yao Yao is a super expert. Su Yang couldn't help but laugh out loud, pinching his daughter's chubby little face lovingly. Oh, Daddy Su, what are you doing? Pinching her face is disrespectful to a super expert. If you do that again, I'll be angry, Su Yao Yao said angrily. Su Yang pinched her again and joked, Haha, Yao Yao, I want to see what you look like when you're angry. Daddy Su, forget it. You're my Daddy Su after all. Yao Yao won't bother with you. Su Yao Yao looked helpless and spread her hands. But, Daddy Su, you're so childish. You have a habit of pinching children's faces, don't you? That's right, Su Yang, aren't you childish? Li Fixun, who was standing next to him, rolled her eyes at Su Yang and pushed his hand away, shielding Su Yao Yao behind her. Stop pinching. Yao Yao is so beautiful. What if you deform her face? How could I deform it? You thought it was dough. Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and smiled wryly. You're not allowed to pinch her either. Li Fixun shielded Su Yao Yao behind her like a hawk protecting her chick, saying earnestly, Yao Yao, don't worry. With Mother Li here, he won't dare pinch you again. Yes, thank you, Mother Li. You're so kind to me. Su Yao Yao smiled and hugged Li Fixun. Oh, I was going to pinch her a few more times, but it's so soft and full of collagen. What a shame, Su Yang said regretfully. Su Yang, is it really that comfortable to pinch Yao Yao's face? Li Fixun suddenly became interested. Yes, it really is. Try it if you don't believe me. Hearing this, Li Fixun was clearly tempted. She squatted down and looked at Su Yao Yao's tender little face, her eyes shining. She said sheepishly, Yao Yao, Mother Li has a request. Police officer, help. Su Yao Yao reacted instantly and took off running. Yao Yao, just let me pinch you. Madam Li promises it'll be gentle, just once, just to get a feel for the touch. Li Fixun smiled and chased after him. Haha, seeing this heartwarming scene, Su Yang's lips curled up slightly. And so, the three of them left Joseph's restaurant and immediately drove back to the riverside villa. Li Fixun had skipped classes, and since she wanted to play with Su Yaoyao, she skipped school that afternoon. She joined Su Yang and his daughter in the villa's living room. As the three of them entered, an elderly woman in her 60s came forward to greet them. "Young master." "Yes." Su Yang looked at the elderly woman and couldn't help but ask, "Fu Ma, why are you here?" The elderly woman, called Fu Ma, was a servant of the Su family. She had toiled throughout her life at the Su family estate and was loyal and devoted. Even though Su Yang had become a playboy, he was always polite to Fu Ma. "Young master, you called last night and asked the head of the family to arrange a nanny for you, so he sent me here," Fu Ma replied with a smile, her face wrinkled. "Fu Ma, you're old enough to retire at the manor. Go back and get a younger nanny," Su Yang said. "Young master, no young nanny has dared to approach you these days. Remember that time? The manor just hired a 19-year-old nanny with a hot body and good looks, and that night you killed her." Fu Ma looked at Su Yang and said righteously, "Young master, please stop yelling at the young nannies at home. They're still young and will get married in the future. If you're angry, you can come to me. I'm old and don't care about gossip, eh?" Su Yang looked at Fu Ma, who had sacrificed herself for the sake of justice. Her face was wrinkled and sallow, and he was speechless. PFFT, Li Fixo next to him burst out laughing and joked, "Su Yang, I didn't expect you to have such a unique taste. Let's be together. I'm willing to give up my position as the queen, wife." "Don't talk nonsense." Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose, turned to look at Fu Ma, and advised, "Fu Ma, you'd better go back. I'm looking for a nanny to take care of her." As he said that, Su Yang pointed at Su Yaoyao and continued, "Her name is Su Yaoyao, my friend's daughter. I want to take her in temporarily for a few days. Yaoyao is only 4 years old and still a little child. I want to find a young and caring nanny to take care of her." "Young master, don't look down on people," Fu Ma said. "I am the best at taking care of children. I raised you and the eldest lady. When you were a child, you were very stubborn. You had to take off all your clothes before you could poop. If you didn't, you wouldn't poop. Every time I took off your clothes and put them back on after you finished pooping. It wasn't until you were 5 years old that you got rid of this bad habit." Fu Ma continued seriously, "Also, young master, your foreskin was too long when you were a child, so you had a circumcision at the age of 12. Medical conditions weren't as advanced back then. You spent a week in bed afterward, and I was there to take care of you, and you." Fu Ma wanted to give another example, but Su Yang couldn't sit still anymore. His face darkened, and he interrupted, "Fu Ma, stop talking. If you want to stay, then stay." There was nothing he could do. Fu Ma had been with him for over 20 years and knew his fair share of embarrassing moments. If he didn't agree, he would be stripped naked. Chapter 175 "Fu Mom, what are you doing?" It had to be said. Fu Ma was very experienced in caring for others, having worked in the Su family her entire life. Su Yang didn't refuse and instead allowed Fu Ma to stay. Su Yaoyao had been playing all morning and was a little tired, so Su Yang coaxed her into a nap. After settling their daughter down, Su Yang and Li Fixun sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. They had seen each other many times during this period, but this was the first time they had sat down quietly and enjoyed time together. Su Yang, Yaoyao is 4 years old. Logically, she should be in school. Last night, I sent a message to her mother, asking which kindergarten she attends, and she said it's not in Jiangbei. At this moment, Li Fixun suddenly thought of something and suggested, "It's not good for a child not to go to school. I'm thinking, why not enroll Yaoyao in kindergarten? She can go as many days as she can. You can't be with her all the time, and I have school and training classes to attend." "Okay," Su Yang smiled softly, "Honey, I'll leave that to you." "Yes," Li Fixun smiled, "I happen to know a pretty good kindergarten. I'll sign her up this afternoon, and she should be able to start school tomorrow. A week isn't too long, but it's not too short either. Let Yaoyao play in kindergarten for a few days." Li Fixun smiled. "Honey, you're so thoughtful." Su Yang leaned closer to Li Fixun, his hand unconsciously resting on her leg, and he began to act naughty. "Su Yang, what are you doing? Don't touch me in broad daylight." Li Fixun's beautiful face flushed. Su Yang ignored him and simply hugged Li Fixun to him, grinning playfully. "Hey, honey, didn't you promise me before that you'd stay with me after the relatives left?" "Hey, what did I promise you, yesterday?" I remember it clearly. You're making something up. Oh, honey, you're a college girl. You use idioms well. Su Yang grabbed Li Fixun's hand and pulled her into his arms, instantly transforming into domineering CEO. He said coldly, but, woman, it's useless. You can't escape my grasp. With that, Su Yang kissed Li Fixun's beautiful face. Li Fixun struggled a bit, but soon submitted and began to cooperate with Su Yang. But just then, Fu Ma appeared out of nowhere, mop in hand. Young master, move your feet. You're disturbing me while I mop the floor. Mopping the floor? Su Yang frowned, halting his movements. Li Fixun, realizing the presence of a third person, blushed and quickly settled down, frantically smoothing her messy hair, wishing she could find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Wife, let's move somewhere else and continue, Su Yang said with a smile. Su Yang, no, I have to find a kindergarten for Yao Yao, and then I have to go to the training class, Li Fixun said, blushing. Let me drive you. Yes, madam, let the eldest young master take you. Some things can be done in the car, at this point, Fu Ma said seriously, but be careful. It's best to park somewhere deserted. I was watching Douyin today and saw a couple in a car, and someone filmed them and posted them online. It was so embarrassing. No, Su Yang, I'll just take a taxi. Li Fixun was about to agree, but after hearing Fu Ma's words, she changed her mind and fled the riverside villa with a blush on her face. Wife, I didn't mean that. Su Yang was still speaking when Li Fixun had already walked away. He turned to Fu Ma, who was mopping the floor, and gritted his teeth. Fu Ma, what are you doing, master? What are you talking about? My ears aren't working well, I can't hear you clearly, Fu Ma said, bewildered. Su Yang was furious. He had almost succeeded, but ended up with nothing. However, Fu Ma was no ordinary servant after all. She had cared for Su Yang for over 20 years, and now, old and deaf, Su Yang couldn't blame her. Forget it, let's go to the Nine Gates Black Market and have Liu Wei find out who Yao Yao's biological mother is. And by the way, ask Liu Wei when their leader will come to Jiangbei. I'm in urgent need of energy stones. With this thought in mind, Su Yang looked at Fu Ma and instructed, Fu Ma, Yao Yao's asleep. Keep an eye on her. I have something to do, so I'll be leaving first. Okay, master, Fu Ma replied respectfully. Damn it. Your ears weren't working just now, but you can hear clearly now? Su Yang was very upset, but he didn't blame Fu Ma. Instead, he strode out of the riverside villa. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.